Bulletin on TV3. This bulletin is coming to you live from the news app here at Adesawe Kanda. We're live on Facebook is TV3 Ghana and on DSTV is Channel 279. My name is Josh Queen. Top of the stories is that. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu assures students that their religious rights will be protected and legal suit against Wesley Girls Senior High School. Meanwhile, Christian leaders rally behind mission schools as a lawsuit against Wesley Girls Senior High heats up, fueling a nationwide debate over faith and education. Also coming up this morning, pressure mounts on the presidency to remove Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejabin. And in international news, Nigeria's main Catholic cleric Bishop Bulus Dua Yohana says the federal government is not making any meaningful effort to rescue more than 250 children abducted from a Catholic boarding school last Friday. Well, we have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. Remember, you can also get interactive with us. We are live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. And that the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, has stressed that government will ensure no student is deprived of their right to practice their religion. He was reacting to allegations that Muslim students at the Wesley Girls High School are being prevented from practicing their religion, the central issue in a suit filed by private legal practitioner Shafiq Osman. Speaking on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday, Haruna Idrisu stated that any action that denies students of their religious rights would not be countenance. Take a listen.
Mr. Speaker, let me also use this opportunity in debating the budget since I speak as the present Minister for Education, that there is some ongoing debate on restrictions on Muslim students in Wesley Girls, which conflicts with international human rights standards and even standard expected of us in Ghana's Constitution under Article 33(5) and 26(1) of the Constitution. And then to assure our colleagues that we have a duty to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian child and to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian citizen. No right is divisible, and that we will not countenance any action by any person to deny any Ghanaian girl the opportunity to profess or practice any religion. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude.
Well, let's still on this very issue. The Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana have jointly reaffirmed their resolve to preserve the Christian identity and ethics of mission schools amid growing national debate over whether non-Christian students, especially Muslims, should be allowed to fully practice their faith in these institutions. The two bodies argue that mission schools were founded, built and nurtured by the churches long before the establishment of the modern state, and that government support represents a partnership, not ownership of these institutions. They maintain that because attendance is voluntary, parents who choose these schools do so knowing they operate within a Christian worldview, and that introducing parallel religious systems would undermine the discipline, unity and moral formation that have defined their long-standing educational success. They further emphasize that their stance is supported by constitutional rights to religious liberty and freedom of association, which allow Christian institutions to operate schools consistent with their faith. Citing the 2024 MOU between government and mission schools, they note that inclusivity and respect for diversity must operate within this established framework, not through altering the core identity of mission institutions. The leaders stressed that mission schools were created for holistic Christian formation, not merely academic instruction, and warned that efforts to secularize these institutions could damage the historic church-state partnership. Welcoming students of all backgrounds, they insist, must go hand in hand with protecting the Christian character that has shaped generations of Ghanaian students. Well, still on education, and if you're just tuning in, you are watching the morning news on TV3. You can also get interactive with us on this very issue. Now, the Minister for Education is appealing to members of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAC, to call off their ongoing strike. According to the minister, government is working to address their concerns and expect a resolution within the next 2 weeks. But CTAC's national president, Max Obanu, says the association cannot take any decision until the leadership constitutes the general membership. Take a listen to the minister.
We are negotiating. There were issues that the National Labour Commission made declaration and award in their favor that has not been respected by government since 2022. We'll see how we can remedy the situation, but I've also requested them to go and consider calling off the strike and give us some 2 weeks to see what the state can do, and it goes back to 2022, 2023. But we'll fix it within the next 2 weeks.
We are grateful to him for the opportunity. The decision that we took wasn't my personal decision, so we made it clear to the minister that we'll consult with NEC and council and then revert. We'll do that within the week. It's not about calling off the strike, it's about resolving the issue. So it's NEC council that took the decision. Minister have said his part. Okay, so we'll consult with them and then we'll take the next decision.
Well, away from education, the Ghana Armed Forces (GAF) has completed the first phase of a 2025-2026 Greater Accra recruitment exercise with nearly 17,000 applicants successfully screened. The next stage is the examination, where applicants' general knowledge will be tested. Joseph Armstrong has more in this report.
The screening process, which resumed on November 20, came to a successful end on Monday, November 24. The exercise was suspended for 1 week after a stampede at the Airwork Stadium claimed 6 lives and left several others injured. On the final day, the last batch of applicants went through document verification before moving to the body selection stage. Each applicant underwent thorough physical inspection. Those with double ear piercing or body drawings were immediately disqualified. Individuals who presented forged documents were handed over to the military police. In all, nearly 17,000 applicants in the Greater Accra region were screened in the first phase and are awaiting the next stage, the written examination. Captain Tay is with the Ghana Armed Forces Public Relations Department.
The applicants who have been shortlisted should expect text messages. These text messages will tell them where and when to go for the examination phase. Those who are tradesmen who applied as tradesmen will take a trade test based on the various skills that they have.
Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Accra.
Well, in more news this morning, this membered remains of a 40-year-old man has been discovered by a search party in the Bediasi stream at Ashian Yabua in the Ebuaka North Municipality of the Eastern Region. A suspect has been arrested whilst an alleged accomplice is also on the run.
The incident has left relatives and residents in a state of shock. According to the family, it's been more than 10 days since the disappearance of the deceased Samuel Kojo Yabua. His disappearance was reported to the police by the family, but for days his whereabouts was still unknown. Unable to wait any longer, a search team of community members and relatives was deployed on Tuesday. They discovered the lower part of his body in the Bediasi stream before later relocating the upper part, all in a decomposed state. Family members have identified the remains, while a pathologist was invited to conduct investigations to determine the cause of death. The relatives are demanding justice is served them.
Left to me
alone, the suspect should be left to us so that we deal with him as he dealt with our relative. But we have left him for the state to deal with him. He should die in prison. It's refusal to give us information on the whereabouts of the deceased clearly indicates he killed a relative. Ours is to go and bury our deceased. We leave the matter to the state to deal with. The deceased, a civilian employed by the military, was last seen in his hometown, Ishia Yabua, on November 16th, after he reportedly left home for the suspect's residence to retrieve proceeds from an iPhone 6 belonging to his female friend. The suspect is currently in police custody, while his son, believed to be an accomplice, is on the run. Meanwhile, early on in the morning, some youth set ablaze houses belonging to the suspect. It took the swift intervention of the police and fire service to restore calm and prevent further violence.
Well, away from the eastern region, let's come to the capital, and this is news coming in. And Dansoman Market fire outbreak kills one person, with many properties destroyed. The Dansoman Market's fire has been fully contained, with an unspecified number of wooden structures and shops used for commercial activities, along with their content completely burned. Several adjoining communities or structures and their content were successfully salvaged from total destruction. Well, my colleague Armstrong is our man covering this very inferno, and he brings us more updates. Armstrong, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Can you confirm the death of one person? Obviously, this is not the first time this market has, been engulfed with fire.
So here at Dansoman Market, I'm told around 12 a.m. This morning, the fire engulfed this place. The cause of the fire is yet to be established. But then, if you come in here, you see that the section of the fire, the market that got engulfed in the fire, is a place where people have their cooking utensils, the gas cylinders, and also other electrical appliances here. And then I've been moving around with the regional Greater Fire Commander, who has explained to me that, well, it's likely that some of these gas cylinders you see here may be the cause of the fire. Unfortunately, one person, we are told, lost her life. 8-year-old girl lost her life, and we are still trying to locate the family and find out what exactly happened. Because around that time, 12 a.m., what would a 8-year-old child be doing in a marketplace where it's supposed to be for buying and selling? But with me, quickly, I have the regional fire commander here with me that wants to give us some explanation. So, sir, you got here around 12 a.m. Exactly what happened, and then tell us the extent of damage.
Okay, good morning to you, and good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers. We had a distress call at 2 minutes after midnight. The first appliance got here 4 minutes after midnight. By the time we got here, we realized that the fire was at a matured state. They started calling for reinforcement, augmentation, and as we speak, we're able to marshal 8 fire engines, 2 private tankers from the Assembly, the Regional Coordinating Council, and we managed to bring the fire under control around 03:03 hours. And as we stand, I can confidently say that the fire has completely been extinguished. We have extinguished the fire. Now, in the process, we lost a small girl, but at the age of 8 passed, and we handed the body to the police, and the police have taken the body to the hospital.
Yeah. I'm sure investigation currently is ongoing to ascertain what exactly caused this fire.
Yes, currently the investigation is ongoing. I've deployed investigation since this morning. We are still working. As we are here, we are still working. You can see that is even the more reason why I brought you to show you some cylinders that are here. The market here, cooking is done here, sewing is done here. In fact, this Dansoman Market, everything that you want in the market.
And that was my colleague Joseph Armstrong bringing us an update on the Dansoman Market fire, which we are told that one person has been confirmed dead, who is 8 years old. I think we have the feed now, so let's go back to Armstrong. Sorry for the break in that very footage. And like I rightly mentioned, one person has been confirmed dead following the Dansoman Market fire. She's 8 years old, and the cause of the inferno is yet to be identified. And Armstrong brings us up to speed on this very matter. If you just tune in, it's the morning news here on TV3. And now, the presidency has assured protesters of the Agrone Form demonstration of a swift response following their petition to remove the special prosecutor from office. And the demonstration, which lasted 2 hours, also courted public sympathy to see the office of the special prosecutor as a duplication of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, which can effectively execute same mandate. The agronic form demonstration began from the Obra Sporters Circle through some principal streets of Accra, including Ring Road, Asalam Down and Akweje Interchange. What was meant to be a one-man demonstration attracted other protesters to demand the removal of the special prosecutor Kisie Jabin about what the group describes as his failure to fulfill his mandate. Apostle Abraham Labi Lincoln is the lead convener.
If it's not ready, we'll move ahead to another level. Me, I don't care. Listen, I staged a one-man demonstration. So me, I don't care about no more people that are coming home. I want to fulfill a mission. Yes. And I fulfill it. Whenever I deliver my petition, I am done with what, and I'll come back again if I don't hear anything good news.
Some use the platform to champion their own agenda.
Wouldn't you rather stay in the house rather than,
No. If today is war, I'm among. You get it? So when the good is coming, I have to be among.
What exactly are you protesting?
I want the president to continue the disability common fund. She increased it.
We asked some of the protesters whether they knew the reason for the protest.
Do you know what you're protesting?
So because there's you are leaving for some office place for one side. So this land need to come and talk something for this Ghanaian people, but I don't come.
The protesters arrived at the Jubilee House to present their petition. The petition was received by Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim.
He is a president that believes in the rights of the citizens of Ghanaians, and he has assured that no citizen must feel fearful in their expression of their rights. And so we see your demonstration here today as a way of activating our constitution, and we are happy to receive your petition.
The petition has been received by the presidency, and according to the lead convener, Apostle Lincoln, if nothing is done about this very petition, he will come back again and protest until the right thing is done. George Quinning, TV3 News, Jubilee House, Accra.
And our government is urging private sector to allocate adequate funding to support efforts aimed at tackling climate change and improving sustainable reporting. The Minister of State in charge of climate change, Isifi Idi, speaking at a forum organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, ISAC, reaffirmed government's commitment to partner with organizations that support national efforts on climate action and sustainability reporting.
The forum brought together key stakeholders from the industry, labor, and the banking and financial sectors. Discussions focused on enhancing sustainable reporting through transparency, accountability, and inclusive growth. Participants also examined the growing impact of climate change on the environment and the need to adopt practical, sustainable solutions. A major concern raised during the discussions was the declining availability of funds to support sustainable reporting initiatives across organizations. Minister of State at the Presidency in charge of climate change, Isifu Seidu, called for stronger financing arrangements to sustain climate change interventions and reporting requirements.
Reporting matters because it ensures inclusive growth. When we disclose how climate policies affect jobs, gender, and community health, we ensure that the transition leaves no one behind. This is the promise of the just transition.
President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, ICAG, Augustine Addo, emphasized the need for a collective effort to ensure organizations fully integrate sustainable reporting and inclusive growth in their operations.
Modern sustainability reporting solutions can connect ESG data to decision-making with embedded reporting tools that drive transparency, trust, and sustainable business performance. Integrated sustainability management platforms can automate data collection, streamline reporting, ensure compliance with evolving standards, and generate actionable insights.
The Chief Executive Officer of ICAG, Kwesi Agyeman, appealed to partners to support government in advancing this important national agenda.
Away from climate change, let's delve into issues relating to security. The Police Council has formally recommended a 2-year post-retirement re-engagement for the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yewunu, Our sources confirmed that the recommendation made ahead of the IGP's mandatory retirement in December 2025 was submitted to President John Dramani Mahama for approval. This development, however, appears to mark a departure from the earlier directive issued in a letter dated April 2, 2025, signed by Dr. Kalisus Mahama, Executive Secretary to the President, that directive suspended the granting of post-retirement contract appointments to retired public service staff with immediate effect. Mr. Teteyonu was born on December 27, 1965, who will be 60 next month and should have been on administrative leave pending his retirement. Well, on that IGP note, we end the morning news. For more news updates, you'd want to log on to our website. It's 3news.com. Alternatively, you can join my colleagues Mawane Egbata and Kemini Amano on News Central at 12 p.m. In a world where it can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. The morning show continues after this break. Good morning.
Meet James. James has been searching for happiness for years. So we asked locals to point him to the source of their happiness. Until one fateful night, when his search finally came to an abrupt end. Find your happy place with GoTV. Get GoTV to enjoy a wide range of shows for the whole family. GoTV. Love it.
Hey, my head really aches. Feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procold.
Procold? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procold. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procold from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procold, and where they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. If it's not Procold from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
So this is the original Procold. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions. Insist
The Iron Boy album, this album should be the album of the year for 2025 TGMA, right? The Telecel. Yeah, it should be. And then the artist of the year, I love Shatawale because I love Shatawale, I love Stonebwoy.
Shatta movement.
But Black Sherry, this album and the responses, particularly because he went further to have tours based on what his promoters and his record label decided to do. Charlie Iron Boy album of the year.
I mean,
and then artist of the year, artist of the year should be the Black Boy Band. Yeah, Blacko.
The song is
but
nice,
I mean,
decent, calm.
Not to take anything away from Shatawale, because Shatawale too has some great songs for the year. Yeah, but how are you?
I'm very well.
Eddie Joy?
Yes,
You're looking,
Eddie Joy,
you're looking Eddie Joy. Okay, Eddie Joy.
Thank you.
How's been your sleep?
Yeah, short, but you know I was here last night.
Yes. How did the conversation go?
It was okay.
It was okay. I couldn't monitor.
Yeah.
I was having a pounding headache, so I decided to sleep early.
Yes,
then I woke up with a flurry of messages, particularly on the subject matter of the places of worship for students in secondary schools. Sorry, forgive me. I'm old school, so senior high schools, all right, who are supposed to be of other faiths beyond them being Christians, which particularly we're talking about Wegehe, the Wesley Girls High School in Cape Coast, being the subject matter, but now even being spread or expatiated to include other schools as well. And the whole phenomenon about whether religious rights should also be adhered to by secondary schools or schools across board. And I believe that the Minister of Education in Parliament said infringing on those religious rights is also an affront to the fundamental human rights of ordinary citizens, including those who are in schools, which I think that is very succinct because we've adopted the 1992 Constitution. We are in the Fourth Republic. This dispensation also means that we should try as much as possible inherent in that constitution, the various provisions to be able to afford each and every Ghanaian that opportunity to have their rights reserved for them.
And at the end of the day, we say that we're a secular state. I think that what is important is this conversation has been going on for a very long time, from hijab to the hair to all of that. We should be able to find a stance.
The burqa, the hijab and all
let's balance
the veil,
it. So that people can still have the freedom to do what they have to do without necessarily breaking any internal school rules. So let's just find a balance and everybody will be okay.
And I saw the Catholic, is it a Catholic Bishop Conference message and statement? There was a very poignant one in there, and they said that before the government came in, over the years to assist their schools, they all had their own regulations and guidelines. And I went to a Catholic school, Bishop Herman College, based in Pando. And I have to say, before I became a charismatic person, I was a strong Catholic, always going to school, going to Mass, making sure I adhered to the Catholic faith and everything, because I read lectionary in church. So I was a bit torn in between siding with the Christians or the Catholics as well, and at the same time also opening up the schools so that other people of religious faith also could practice. It's a very thorny issue, you know, and religion is a very sensitive subject,
delicate,
where you have a larger section of the population, etc., being 70% Christians and the others as well. So we'll see how the debate goes.
I think all of us have really gone through those stages one way or the other. Because myself, I went to a Catholic primary school, had to learn had to recite the Hail Mary and do the rosary and all of that. Although I wasn't Catholic, I wasn't raised Catholic. Yes, I had to go through that. And then, you continue with secondary education or junior and senior high schools, and there are other things as well that you need to do. So I'll just go back to my old comment. We need to find a balance.
Yes. That's the diplomat for you. So we'll see how that goes. But welcome, Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, Group Chief Executive for the RAID Group. We wish all the best for the day as well. All those who tend to watch us, we have a great friend, Neo Dati Mills, is called Justice. The daughter, Lily, now is celebrating the birthday today as well. We're wishing all of you well. Charles Thompson is watching us from the UK. Albert Mensah is also watching us. That's Kwesi Mensah is watching us from Albany, New York. Prince Nane Ayo from the UK. Zilis Dwayne, everybody else who tend to watch us, we're grateful. But more importantly, we have some great lineup for you this morning. And so that what we talked about will become the subject matter for our this morning discussion or conversation for our question of the day. Then we will transition to big issues, and Solomon traveled over the week. He's back, and so we're going to have Zato, Solomon, the rest of the team right here this morning. Emmanuel Kutin also will be joining us, and Fred Agbenyo also will be here, and is the subject matter of the extension that has been granted to the current IGP. We're seeing a green letter signed by Callistus Mahama, Dr. Yes. Callistus Mahama. We haven't authenticated it yet on social media as well. And then, of course, there's an earlier edict from the presidency that said that extension of those who were due for retirement would not be condoned or countenanced. And here we are today. There's an extension that has been granted an IGP who ideally should be going home. Retirement. You know, he should be going home so that others also who are in a position, having duly served, aspiring to become IGPs, at least could also have the next 2 years also to be able to serve. And I think that is equitable if you have to make an argument for that. But we're told that it's approved by the police council, but who decides to nominate for the police council to, you know. So we'll discuss that. And I would want to find it very interesting what Fred Agbenyo will say on behalf of the government, and then also what Solomon will say being in the middle because of United Party.
I mean, it's interesting the kind of conversations going on social media. Is it double standard that you say one thing and then the next time we're seeing another thing happen? So yes, I look forward to the responses from Fred Agbenyo as well on how it's looking like, and perhaps a confirmation really that this is really what's going on. Yes.
Well, so we'll see. Moses has already sent me, says security is a trust issue. So you just don't put anybody there because you think that the person is due for appointment. Because whoever you appoint as IGP needs to hold the trust of the personnel and then also need to have your trust as an appointing authority. That's great arguments in there. So we'll get to see that. It will be a bit interesting, but we're ready for this morning. Yes, we'll bring you sports and all that as well.
Of course we will.
And cash out. It goes with a shop with Star 439.
Today is Wednesday, middle of the week. You don't want to lose that opportunity to get 1,000 cedis. So always remember, Star 439 hash, you follow the prompt, you pick your favorite platform right here, TV3, which is number 2. According to the options provided on the platform. Star 439 hash, follow the prompt, pick number 2, your favorite TV3, and get to win 1,000 cedis. The more you play, the higher your chances of getting the cash home. Middle of the week, get that to see your how far. Yes, but up next is This Morning. You're welcome. So on the This Morning segment, we're telling you that the story about the Wesley Girls Senior High School and whether or not other religious groups and people who believe in other religion aside from Christianity, their rights are being infringed upon and being forced to just follow what the school believes in. And so, yes, we want you to share your thoughts with us. Of course, this is not new. We've had this conversation over and again, but it's coming up again, which means that perhaps it's time for us to really decide and do something about it. But you call in and share your thoughts with us.
All right. What you just said, how would you say that in French? Because you're bilingual, so can you put something together for me? Have your thoughts, okay? And then, so we have this. Are you ready?
Non, mais il y a beaucoup de gens qui ne parlent pas français, donc on peut pas faire ça ici.
To French.
No,
all right.
I'm just saying that our audience speak English, a lot of them.
Yeah, so
it's not fair to speak and then.
But it's not bad to quote French-speaking audiences.
Yeah, it would be nice. If I'm sure there are a number of francophone or French-speaking people in Ghana, so they can call in.
Okay, so take us through what the issues are, Mademoiselle.
I heard what Harriet said in the background, but yes. So let's take you through that. There's a statement, like you rightly said when we opened the show, that the Catholic Bishops' Conference or Christian Council position. It says no student is compelled to attend a Christian mission school. Parents choose our institutions freely, often because of their proven track record in academic excellence, discipline, and moral formation. Because attendance is voluntary, it is unreasonable for anyone to demand that we change our core character to accommodate their religious preferences. Ghana offers many alternatives: fully public schools, Islamic schools, and private institutions, ensuring that the rights of non-Christian students are respected without requiring us to dilute our identity. We also recognize the practical challenges that accommodating multiple religions would create. Adjusting timetables, allocating prayer rooms, revising uniforms, or managing perceptions of inequality would impose significant administrative burdens. Expecting us to suppress the Christian identity of our schools to accommodate every religious group would infringe upon this freedom. Financial assistance from the state must not be mistaken for state ownership, nor does it grant any party, governmental or religious, the authority to redefine the character of the institutions we established. So there you have it, that statement coming from the Catholic Bishops' Conference and indeed the Christian community as well, defending the stance. But we need to also hear what the court is saying about this. It says, Attorney General replaced statement of case for GES and AG. Court orders Wesley Girls School to respond to allegations. Plaintiff's motion for leave to lead evidence put on hold. Court grants Democracy Hub permission to file amicus brief. So that's that side of the court, the information coming from the court as well. But we also know that the Education Minister, Harry Naidusu, has been speaking on this. Let's hear exactly what he said.
Speaker, let me also use this opportunity in debating the budget, since I speak as the present Minister for Education, that there is some ongoing debate on restrictions on Muslim students in Wesley Girls, which conflicts with international human rights standards and even standard expected of us in Ghana's Constitution under Article 33(5) and 26(1) of the Constitution. And then to assure our colleagues that we have a duty to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian child and to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian citizen. No right is divisible, and that we will not countenance any action by any person to deny any Ghanaian girl the opportunity to profess or practice any religion. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude.
And you just watched right there, the Member of Parliament for Tamale South and also the Education Minister, Harry Naidusu, with his statement on the floor of Parliament earlier. And we just told you the line is activated. You can call in and share your thoughts with us. Yes. And Roland, I was saying earlier that we just need to find a balance. And as I was watching the minister, I just remembered that you probably may not know that my national service, I was posted to a mosque in Nima.
Fantastic.
And I remember...
Posted to, no, wait. What did I say fantastic to? Your national service?
Yes, I was posted to... I was posted to a mosque in Nima to go and teach children there.
Yeah.
But
you could have taught there, right?
Yeah, I did. I did teach. Okay. Yes, but I'm saying that
because they were not forcing you to teach in Arabic, right?
No. I was to teach maths and English.
Okay.
But the school was under the Aboso Kai Central Mosque.
Okay.
So I had to go there to make inquiries. And when I got to the gate, I was given my afi to wear before I could enter.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that we should be able to balance it. At which point do we need to get people to follow what we're believing in? And which point do we need to also ensure that everybody has religious rights? And so
I get
we
your
must,
point.
yes,
I get your point.
We just need to find
balance. There's a certain balance that is needed, because on one side of the divide, you do. If you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do, and that's what you did.
Yes.
And then the other side also says that if you come to my my territory, you
Yes.
do what I want. But
Yes.
in the middle, we need to find
We
a
need to
certain
find a
fine
balance
for
so
those
that
who feel that
yes,
they have to.
It's a
All right.
win-win situation for all of us. But I think we have a first caller from
Certainly.
Wale Wale. Yes, Nuri from Wale Wale. Good morning to you, Nuri. How are you today? Tell us what's on your mind.
Good morning, Trace and Roland. I hope you guys are doing good.
Very well.
To comment on your issue, I would like to say that we have rights, but we also have responsibilities. It is your right to move to any place, but it is not your right to move to, let's say, a mosque, preach there. They will not agree. You are right to move to any place, but you are limited. Senior high schools, we have numerous of them. You can select the one that you want to go to. I will not support the education minister today. I will not support him tomorrow. Because if you check critically, Christian schools were established not today, probably since time immemorial. So if they have their rules and regulations for you to follow, and you are saying that because you want to practice what you want to practice, they should bend the rules for you, I think it will be unfair to the Christian society. Because, yes, we equally have Muslim schools that are best in the country. If you think that your ward should attend a Muslim school, fine. But because you have seen some qualities in the school, that is why you are agitating that your ward should go to that school. Right now, if you want to change their ways of life just because of education, I think it will be unfair. It will be unfair to the Christian society. Beatrice, just to add a little bit, I am a DC worker, and yesterday I was not able to call in to also contribute to the discussion, but I would like to chip in a bit. I will plead with the government to take a good look at this current EC chairperson. She is not helping us at all. You can imagine being in the service for, let's say, 20 years, expecting to be recruited as, let's say, a regional director or a district director. Then they will bypass you, the one that is having the experience. Then they will go and select some university graduate, telling you that that is the senior, you are not qualified. But the one that has just graduated from university, that person is qualified. It's really heartbreaking, and we are silent. We are dying inside. Most of our colleagues are resigning. They are resigning because of the inhuman treatment this lady is giving us. I don't care what she will do to me. I don't care. I know she will trace me and do whatever she wants to do to me, but I don't care. People are transferred from the headquarters to district. Kids are being employed in our districts, in our regions, as direct, and we are suffering. I think it's unfair, and the government should really help us. Thank you, and good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you, Nira, for calling in and sharing your views. But these are allegations we cannot independently verify. But I believe the authorities could be listening in, and they could make their own inquiries regarding what's happening within the Electoral Commission. But thank you as well for your earlier thoughts on the subject matter that we were talking about.
Musa Danko has been writing, I think, the whole of yesterday, and even this morning, just 16 minutes ago, he's posted some I won't say controversial issues, but, you know, he's a
poster.
Apart from being a poster, he's a Muslim as well. So he's an opinion leader on the subject matter. Yeah, but I'll tell you what he said. Just pick another
Yes, let's go to Joseph, who joins us on the phone as well. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Tell us where you're calling us from.
Good morning, I'm Joseph from Cape Coast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's been a long time. The land is always hot.
We're glad you're able to get through today.
Yes. I'm 2 weeks inside. Roland, I hope you are doing great.
I'm well, sir. Thank you for calling through.
Good. In fact, I want to comment firstly on the religion and then with girls. You know, I think as a country we've gone far, and we need to draw a balance in this issue. Looking at what is happening in Nigeria, as a country we must take a clue from our neighboring country, Nigeria, and then the constitution is clear, religious freedom. But I think that this issue, there must be some dialogue. You know, our Muslim leaders and our Christian leaders can sit. I'm a teacher in the school. We have the school's religious activity, which is be it a mass, which is general for every student. But we have denominational days also, a day that we set aside for people to practice. If you are vegetarian, if you are Methodist, if you are this, that is also there for denomination, some 2 hours or 1 hour every Sunday. I think that if it is time for fasting, let us allow them, but just give some restrictions. And the Muslims should also do same in their Islamic schools. I know of a Christian brother who attended TR Media in Kumasi. And yes, he also told me they were giving the Quran, they go on that recitation, etc. Like your sister was saying, because she was going to do a national service, she had to be allowed to wear the hijab as a teacher. I think that we must try to draw a balance, allow some little freedom. Once the person is a Christian, it is not compulsory for him to wear, him or her to wear the hijab just because he's going to teach at a Muslim school. Then also, if the minister, GES is under the Ministry of Education, and I think GES was a party to the issue, to the case. And look at the Attorney General represented GES, and the GES asked the Attorney General filed on their behalf. The minister is also saying different thing in Parliament. I think that Attorney General's office should liaise with the ministry. Let them come under one consensus to guide the court. I think this issue, we did not even litigate so much as a country where we have cohabitated some harmonious living between Christians and Muslims. This is not something that we should always be litigating on, be making all this noise here and there. I think that there should be a dialogue. Yes, I am a Muslim. I want to go to prefect. Roland, have you heard other Christian institutions having this problem aside Wesley girls? It's like all along, it is always Wesley girls, Wesley girls. I think prefect at the Presbyterian school, there's nothing like that. And when we go to Prempe and there's other St. Augustine at this school, I think there's some harmonious living and there's that coexistence among themselves. I'm a Christian and I have good Muslim friends. As a country, let us try to our Muslim brothers who are being stayed in Islamic schools. Let us allow that the Christians will do what is their religious practice. Just that there should be some level of restriction. You know, there should be some restrictions so that it shouldn't be that if you are Muslim, you know, the one pillar of Islam is fasting. And so when it gets to fasting and they want to fast, the school should make all the necessary provisions for them that they fast. If maybe the hijab or whatever, it may bring some, maybe let's do some little restrictions. Then it is not that you know that this is a Christian school. Why did you apply? You know, yes, I think that we all want to live together so that our country can run. Roland, I think I will end here. And then I want to thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a very, I don't think it's a divisive issue. It's a thorny issue.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of people indecisive.
Yes.
But people's arguments have been shaped by their experiences.
Yeah.
For example, I grew up in Ashaiman.
Yeah.
And for all those who grew up in Ashaiman, who went to public schools, those public schools were always close to Zongo.
Yeah.
So we had classmates, some of whom are some of my richest friends today.
Yeah.
Because they own fleet of tankers or, you know, oil bulk transport heads, etc.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they are my friends today. I benefit from them either through relationship or business, etc.
Yeah.
I've had some of my friends who were Christians converting to Islam. All right? I've had some few Muslim people
converting to Christian.
Yeah. And so Ghana, like some few countries, is a peculiar country where we allow people of other faith to practice their religion. So, for example, even a media general, I know, Aisha Yakubu is a Muslim, but is allowed to wear a headgear.
Yeah.
Before she did that, or when she started that, there was maybe one or two talk on the corridors that, hey, Charlie, will management and board approve, etc.
Yeah.
But herein lies the inclusion, because the management and board allowed even for a place of worship for Muslims.
I know.
Where they
I
pray,
know where it is, yes.
Where they pray, right here on the premises of Media General head office. Do you understand? So the conversation about whether nationally we are open to inclusion, I don't think that is a no that at all.
Yeah.
Wherein we have or specific instances where institutions say that based on our founding and guiding principles, we still want to stick to that. Where if we're solely missionary or Christian school, we will not allow maybe Muslim girls or boys to be well attached and practice the faith the way they want to. Maybe we can have a conversation with them and get to understand why they want to adhere to that strict belief.
Yeah.
Because it's not all so-called mission and religious schools that have been reticent or reluctant to allow or not allow people of other faith to not practice.
And I think that's the point. It goes back to the point that even our caller from Cape Coast made, that there should be, and he expressed himself quite well, of that level of balance of knowing where your limit is and how far you can go with what you believe in. And you talk about friends. One of my best friends in junior high school was a Muslim. I mean,
mashallah.
Yeah, so there's already evidence that we are coexisting very well, but we need to be able to fine-tune these things so we are able to live even better. But we have a caller from Western region, Mohammed. Western North, actually. Mohammed, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning segment on New Day. Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah, what I want to say in terms of the religion in school versus school regulations, please, I just want to indulge you to, I mean, take your camera to a school like Media Secondary Kumasi and just observe the way the Christians and the Muslims are allowed to practice their faith freely. You just take your camera to all the, and then you use it to show it to the other schools who are just trying to bring some differences. You see, you go to China and say, no, just love it. The Christians are doing their own thing, the Muslims are doing their own thing. It is clear. Don't allow people to be calling and telling their mind. You just go to China and just take your camera there. You will be happy. You see, I think that everybody should be allowed to practice his faith wherever you want to see. You see, that's my thought.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Very brief from Western North region. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, so we have a couple of comments, so we'll take you through. And this is Prince Nani York from the UK. I attended a Catholic school. Muslim students were enrolled there too. They willingly participated in our school church services without any pressure. If you choose to send your school to a particular school, you should respect and follow its established rules and traditions. My mates were doing their prayers at a certain designated place, which was assigned to them. Sometimes the last break before closing, okay, or I don't know what. If your beliefs don't align with your personal beliefs, it's better to select a different school that you believe in and also will accommodate you. It makes a lot of sense. And this one from Moses says, we should all interact freely. It's a Roland. It was in Israel. The mosques and the Muslim share an entrance, all right? They share a wall. They interact freely. We should be willing to do that. Muslims just need a small space to pray. That's all. And so he doesn't say why we're having what people will say hula balu about it. Sheikh Abubakar Napar, he is the president, founder, executive director for the Light Foundation, says that thank you, MB3s, for your good work for Mother Ghana. Please, we need tolerance in all institutions because we are one people, one nation, one Ghana, and let's keep our cool and ensure that there's peaceful coexistence that we're all enjoying. It's very beautiful, and we should not let anything come in between us. Sheikh Abubakar Napar, who come from a family where they have a lot of clerics as well, and they're very accommodating. you know, Medjina is not able to get through today, and so has sent a long message. Oh, it's not very long. I want to emphasize that religion is a very sensitive issue, so we should approach it with caution, because mishandling it could have serious consequences. However, I also believe that a person's religion does not change simply because they attended a school with a different religious affiliation. What we should rather focus on instead are the factors that truly enhance teaching and learning. Umar Farouk, good morning to you, Umar. He says that let us tolerate each other to make life a balanced one and harmonious for living. That is why I like Edu Jitamaklu, the lawyer or Esquire. He's always concerned when it comes to religion and tribal matters. You will see him posting the Yana, the Yagbonwura or the Otumfo. Meanwhile, he's an Epe. I love him so, man, and that's what's most important. Obumpa
That's
is my
an
classmate.
interesting name.
He's my classmate. He's an educationist.
Is that the real name?
His real name is called Benedict Clotti. So we attended the same school. And he says that my candidate submission is for them to be given their place of worship, but must also follow school rules and be at all social gatherings, as was practiced in Bishop Herman College that you and I attended. Yeah, so that's my classmate there.
Let me get
so we forced them to come to Mass.
Yeah.
Even though they had places of worship as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes maybe you are in Lent.
Yeah.
You know, Lent, you go to Mass every day because there will be
Lent
Ash
is when
Wednesday.
you're fasting, right?
Yes, the
Yeah.
period between March and April there.
Yeah.
About. And so they have to kind. Sometimes they'll be dodging, you know, but it's always.
There's a quick message from Simon Yeng Wa in the Upper West region. He says, good morning, Beatrice and Roland. The posture of the plaintiff in the lawsuit on Wesley Girls and the position of the education minister seem that of total ownership, into bracket, public by the government. The mission schools were established on some religious foundations, which must be respected as such. I agree with the fact that the government is partnering in the smooth running of mission schools. To me, therefore, it is a win-win situation which requires dialogue, not force, as being portrayed by the Honorable Minister Simon Yeng Wa. Thank you very much. I think we have another caller on the line. Hello? Elijah.
Hello.
Hi,
Yes,
Elijah from END. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Beatrice and Roland.
Good morning.
Okay. Please, I want to talk on your topic today. I believe religion in school is like, that is what is causing a falling standard of education now. Because looking at things, some of us attended St. Charles, and it was only boys' school, which is a mission school. And then those that are Muslims and they were there, they were given permission to also pray. After what they call it, morning devotion or any time at all, we had church service. And then looking at things, it was doing well. Everybody was just cooperating. So minister talking about religion in school, I think is not good. And then it even made some of the students not to even respect or not to even be what they call cooperating with the school rules. Some of them, I was teaching a school, mission school, and then that school, they were made what they call Muslim girls to be wearing veil on campus. And some of them, they will be carrying bushy head and they will wear veil on top of it. And some of them, when you try to even, allow them to remove the veil for you to check their head, they will tell you it's haram, it's not allowed. You see? So, minister, to forget about that topic, I don't think it will help our education system. He should rather focus on qualitativeness of the school and not the quantitative of the school.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Elijah, for calling us and for sharing your thoughts with us. I was trying to get clarity on what he was saying, but yes.
Yeah, I think that the Minister of Education has come under extreme criticism following his point he made yesterday. But I think that it's also unfair. The minister is stating what is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution.
He's a lawyer.
Apart from being a lawyer, he's enshrined he's stating what is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution. At the same time, he's an appointee of the president to implement education policy. And so he's trying to make sure that he creates a conversation that ensures that schools across board respect what is enshrined in the Constitution, at the same time also respect their own guidelines. And so it's saying that schools should not take matters into their own hands and be arbitrary in the way they implement their own rules and guidelines, which could be at variance to what the provisions are in the 1992 Constitution. Yeah. I understand we're 70% Christian, so everybody's coming now at him. If you take a look at the conversation today and the criticism of Haruna Idrisu, it's the same thing that the opponents of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia did. Yeah. They did that prior to the election.
Yeah.
His the special delegates. And they're still doing it today.
Yeah.
Because I would not feel bad and think that if we have a good candidate who is a Muslim, but speaks well and intends to do what is right for the public good, to be voted for as president. Because you just don't get up as a Muslim politician to become president or want to stand for president. You should have courted public buy-in. People would have accepted you as a politician. Then, of course, your religion will become a thorny issue. But at the end of the day, it should not be an overriding reason why the choice will have to be made.
They want to vote for you because they believe you can do something
and I feel
for the
that
country.
He's coming under unfair criticism. Anyway.
Let's go to Bright Opia. He's Executive Director of Charles Wright International. He joins us live at video call. Good morning to you, Mr. Opia. It's great to have you this morning.
My greetings to my friend.
Yeah, Brighto.
I mean, this is a very thorny issue, like Roland has said. Where do you stand on what's going on?
Well, you know, rights are a very complex topic to always discuss because at a certain time, if you look at it from the constitutional point of view, it also makes sense. But there's times that you also have to look at the practice and the tradition that existed in the past that has resulted into what we are seeing today. So the issue of enforcing constitutional rights, I think that the minister is so clear on it and there is no ambiguity about it. And he has stated the position of the Constitution. So we cannot argue so much about it. But the issue that we need to also take into consideration has to be with the fact that all institutions, these institutions that we are talking about, what is their evolution? Where do they come from? Where are they now? And what is the state position on acquisition of those schools? Because there are schools, when a school is managed by the state, it becomes a public institution, which more or less becomes a secular institution. Therefore, you cannot deny anybody access to that environment, especially where the Constitution is so clear on the right to education. You know, so if for us to be able to situate this in a proper context, I think that the state should be clear on what the state calls a secular institution. Because if you pick most of the schools, you pick the Presec, you pick Wesley Girls, Holy Child, Ebri Girls, these are schools that are still have some kind of undertone in terms of religious management, or people who believe in a certain religion are still managing those schools. So it's time to reason that they would only apply the rules and regulations that pertain to that religion. So for the state to be able to come to a reasonable conclusion to say that this school is a secular state, a secular institution, then that declaration must be made clearly, so that when it comes to the management, when it comes to the ownership, we know that the ownership is in the hands of the state. The fact that the state is paying the teachers and financing it, it is because children must enjoy their right. And that right, the state says it should be universal. And policies and social programs have been designed to ensure that every single child will have access to education. So for the issue of right, I don't think that there's any ambiguity about it. But we have to be clear on what the state of our schools are, whether it is still in the hands of the religious institutions or it is a secular institution that must be managed by the state. And if that is the case, then the appointment of headmasters and head teachers and administrators and all that must also reflect in the decision of the state. Because, for instance, if you look at Holy Child, for instance, if you go and look at those who have the heads of the institutions, it gives you a certain suggestion that is still under the management of our religious institutions. So clearly, there are certain things that must be done right for us to be bold enough to say that this institution can enjoy the kind of right that we want to. The second leg of it is that when it comes to the enjoyment of right, it's a bit complex also in the sense that you can only enforce the right that has been denied as a child. And for you to be able to do that, then you should be able to justify it, But going under the interpretation is one of the things that I'm worried about, looking at the various cases that we have witnessed in the past, the Tyrone case and the other case that borders on religious practice. Clearly, the court has made their position on it, that once it's a right, that right must be enforced. So I'm expecting that the lady in question should be able to enforce that right rather than going for the interpretation, which, with my experience, may suffer certain consequences if it's properly not done. So we need to be clear on what we want to do as a nation, and then our position on our schools, and then how children can have access to the environment that are within our school system.
Ms. Appiah, the other side of the conversation is really how do we strike the balance? And I'm glad you talked about really looking at the background of the schools and the role or the percentage of the roles of both government and the schools as well. We heard or we read in that statement coming from the Christian Council or the Catholic Bishops' Conference indicating that the fact that the government is giving some financial support shouldn't be construed as having total ownership of what should pertain in those religious schools. How do we then strike that balance so it's a win-win situation for both the government, the individuals who go to these schools, and the schools themselves?
I think it's a procedural issue, and that is why I'm saying that we have to be clear on those things, because they still have the confidence that they still own some of these schools. So they can decide what they have to do. And government has also behaved in such a way that suggests that they still own some kind of percentage when it comes to the management of the schools. Because when you pick some of the schools, clearly Methodist Church, Catholic Church, Anglican Church has been given a quota in terms of admission and all that. So government is also behaving in such a way that suggests that they have a voice and they can make some of these things made it clear. But I think that we need to strike the balance, as you've mentioned, and state clearly what the position is when it comes to secular institutions, so that government can take initiative to take ownership of those schools and allow every single child to have access to that environment. That is the most important thing that we need to do now. If not, people would have their own interpretation and decide to do whatever they want to do. And even as we speak, there is no any structured policy that governs all secondary schools in our country. It is done based on individual institutions and what they think the disciplinary action should be, and the behavior and the conduct of children should be in the school. So it's also difficult for the state to come and say that, okay, it's a right, so I'm going to enforce it. Meanwhile, you have not really put in all the measures that will suggest to any individual that the state is under the control, the institution or the school is under the control of the state. So for that matter, there are the do's and don'ts that you cannot administer on children, and how you can also dictate the way and manner they should behave and all that. So clearly, with what I've seen so far, it looked like they have a stake in the management of the school, and it is for the state to also come out and state its position clearly as to what it is, so that when children are enforcing their right, they will do it with the kind of confidence that the system provides. And that, for me, will be able to deal with some of these issues.
Indeed. Thank you very much. We'll have to end it here. Bright Appiah, Executive Director, Charles Wright International. Thank you for joining in and sharing those thoughts with us. Well, there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the ADV Tech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City Guild UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We also offer hospitality and culinary art, available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology and Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Pebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens.
All right. So, again, we have some cream cracker, right?
Yeah.
The queen of King Cracker.
Yeah, so you just have to remember that hunger can strike anytime, but Royal King Cracker is always on standby when you need something enjoyable to munch on. Royal King Cracker brings the crunch and the buttery taste. It fits right into your day, morning like right now, noon or night. Royal King Cracker, choke your hunger. Just grab one and enjoy. This advert is FDA approved. Are there more messages?
Yeah, we have a couple of messages. So this one is, can I say, tell Beatrice that I love her strength and dedication to the New Day program. She hasn't taken a day off ever since she started, despite having other programs she undertakes. She's got an admirer in me. That's coming from Delight Mojak as well. And then, Chairman Riches, Kokoti, good morning to you. It is true. She's solid. All right. So this one is coming from Kofi Kwating Amenin Kukro, and then turns my attention to the Catholic Bishop Conference release. What exactly is the issue in court? So far, that has not been made known. The Education Minister should tread cautiously. I can assure you that if government withdraws its support for Wesley girls, pays and will send their kids, parents will send their kids just as they are doing at Ghana International School. Don't forget that the churches even want to take their schools back. We've got a point. We've got a point. And then we have a last one. Let me just do a last one. This one is coming from a bishop. A bishop.
A bishop,
A bishop with the Anglican Church. So he said, do you know that there are some religions which have a secret agenda? We must be careful in whatever decisions that are made. Bishop, read with your name intact as well. And the Buntin Benjamin, that's I don't think government or anyone has prevented religious service in our schools. And there are already existing protocols for worship, which must be followed to enhance the peace and harmony in our schools. Bunti Benjamin.
Yeah, there's a message from Isaac Hughes from Takrade. Thank you very much. We've seen your message expressing similar views as we've read already. Thank you for that message as well. Well, step into a night of elegance, music and fine dining at the Mervenpick Classical Music Night, happening on the 27th of November at the Mervenpick Ambassador Ballroom. Just come enjoy an enchanting evening of live performances by Guy Bertrand and Kokwi Selome. Savan exquisite full-course dinner with perfect wine pairings and capture magical moments with our photo experiences. It's more than an evening, it's a symphony of taste, sound and style, crafted for those who cherish the finer things in life. Hurry now, seats are limited. Don't miss your chance to be a part of an evening where every note hits the heart and every flavor delights the palate. Price is 1,800 cedis. Reserve your seats today by calling 020-433-3136 or 0302-611-000. Mervenpick Classical Music Night, where music meets elegance and moments turn into memories. And you're still here on New Day on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you the big issue and more. Do stay with us.
Again, thank you for joining us. We hope that you did enjoy that conversation. This morning segment question on the subject of the religious rights of students at secondary schools. And then, of course, the responses that were coming from you. And I see a lot of you still sending messages on the subject. But, of course, when we have the time, we'll try and then include that in our responses when we're reading some of your messages. But it's time for big issues, so we have to expand the conversation so far. And today we're discussing the subject matter of the extension of the term of the current IGP, and we're also relating that to an edict or a notice based on what could be a directive that was coming from Dr. Callistus Mahama of the presidency. And so invariably the president at the beginning of his administration banning extension of contracts for all those working within the public service or the civil service as that. And now we have an extension of 2 years for the current IGP by the Police Council. And subsequently, how do we posit that in the bigger conversation about what at the beginning of the John Mahama, Nana Jenopoku-Agyeman government, their position was on if your time is due for retirement, whether you could, even though that was allowable before that edict or notice, an extension for you. Does it smirk of double standards, or is just a change in policy? We haven't had the definitive communication so far. We've seen a green letter circulating on social media so far. We're trying to get confirmation whether, again, that a green letter has rightfully been signed by, again, the presidency or issued by the presidency. And so we'll take a look at that. And then for our last one, for which we usually would have some few minutes to discuss, we're talking about the Pandai 2024 parliamentary election, because the minority is also defending the annual result, calling it transparent, and that goes against what the position or the judgment of the court is. Of course, that judgment of the High Court is has been subjected to appeal at the Court of Appeal. And we know that there's a case in point where there's now a rule in that Willensi case stating that it looks like all points of appeal will terminate at the Court of Appeal. What do we have to say about that as well? And so I have right here with me the Member of Parliament for the Guan constituency, Fred Agbenyu. Good morning to you, Fred. How are you?
Good morning.
You're looking beautiful in green suits.
Your wine is very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It's made by Ellis Couture, Site 3, Tema Community 1. You can reach her on 024 651 6886. And I have Dr. Joshua Jabuntie Zato. Good morning to you, Dr. Zato. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Great. And then Solomon is back after a week's travel. He traversed the length and breadth of the world and the country he's back. Too much words, right? Solomon, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother Roland.
Yeah, Director of Communication for the United Party. How's Alan Chamantin doing?
He's very strong and poised for action come 2028.
Great. There's a lot happening in your former parties or your rival party, and you know that there are primaries coming up. So
which one? The
MPP
but the
primaries.
MPP's collapse, I've told you long ago.
You cannot make those
They
conclusions.
are only in the extra time when once it is it manifests, all of you will witness it. For now, you will not take it serious, but when it manifests, you will come back here and give me my story. We have been proven right so many times, so it's just a matter of time.
We'll see how that goes.
But I will embrace Zato into the UP. That is the only advantage you will get out of it.
I'm not sure MPP Sisalai's constituents will be happy.
What is he going to do? They going to contest on the ticket of the MPP.
But he's contested the primary one. So
and he lost it and left there.
But he's a main candidate.
Who's main candidate? UP's candidate or
the MPP's candidate for the primaries?
Do you intend to contest on that ticket, Zato?
When the time
so
comes,
no,
I'm sure.
You a mischief. It's like you were born on the same
I
day.
am
You a mischief. You were born on the same day.
Let me acknowledge the presence of Yemole Yemo. She lives in the UK as well, Yemo. It's been a while. And then Prince Nani York has also joined us. Mensa Majid joining us from Bono. Azongona Mandela. Samuel Kate, good morning. Stephen Joe also has joined us. Rene Lopez. Empress, I've seen you as well. So for all those who are joining us, we're grateful that you've joined us this morning. Mensa Majid says, I'm watching from Bechim, Toronto. I've always wondered why there's Toronto in Bechim. Pearl Aflakwe also has joined us, and already they say the salvos are being found. Okay, and so we'll put what the position of the presidency was, or the administration was at the beginning of administration, on the line on the screens for you. You got to find the green letter, and that green letter clearly states that. And that green letter clearly states that suspension of the grant of contract appointments, and this one was on the 2nd of April 2025. And it says the grant of post-retirement contract appointment to retired public staff, service staff, or the public service staff has been suspended with immediate effect, and consequently all requests for such appointment will no longer be considered. Kindly take note of this directive and ensure strict compliance. So if you're in public service, that's what it means. All right, signed by PhD Callistus Mahama, the 2nd of April. There's no other communication to that effect that the policy of the government has changed, but we just got the news over the last 24 hours that the current IGP, Yohonu, has his time in office extended additionally, even though by this time, if you go by the refrain of Johnny Hughes and Johnny's by let the retirees go, let the young grow, the supposition will be a question posed whether we don't have people who perhaps will be liked by the president or the administration to fill the shoes of Yohonu should he be retiring, and so has got a lot of tongues wagging. And Fred, I'm told by Robert Coleman, Chief Executive of Wembley Sports Construction, that you were at the AstroTurf Construction commissioning at Ekropon. You were there yesterday.
Yeah, yes. Well, I just want to say, are we ignoring the color combination between the two of them? Are we ignoring the color combination?
Are you Fred?
I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm just saying.
The color combination here is yellow, green, and blue.
Green, you see?
Roland,
the yellow is for the black.
Roland.
What is wrong with that?
Roland, a man who can defy his own party, even when they have boycotted the platform. You can defy the directive of your party.
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right. So Robert Kuman said you were at the Ekropon AstroTurf commissioning by Wembley Sports Construction.
I met my brother and friend, Koma, I think at Ekropon, where we commissioned one of his projects. You know, I think he's doing a good job. You know,
has he promised to construct one for you at?
If he doesn't, you know what I'll do to him. Right? He needs to come and construct one in the Guan constituency, and so we are having a discussion on that already. I'm sure he will come and construct one for us. We want to develop sports, especially football, in the Guan district. We intend to set up an academy so that we can nurture the young ones. And so I'm in talk with him. To bring all his partners, both home and abroad, to come and team up with us so we can set up a beautiful academy and develop sports talents.
I see. Robert Coleman. So the directive, has it changed? What based on your inquiries when you got the topic, what did those at the presidency tell you?
Well, it is true. I think you first, let me say good morning to our cherished viewers, especially the good people of the Guam constituency, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, the Honorable Atufosen, the team that is managing Ghana's economy. Roland, I'm sure you followed the budget that was presented in Parliament. And so far, everybody is happy with the content of the budget. And what people are praying for is that we are able to implement to the latter so that Ghana will become the beneficiary. I am so impressed about the fact that we intend to invest heavily, especially in palm plantation, so that we can generate more raw materials to, feed our industry, much the same way the rubber industry. I don't know if you have ever been to Grail, Ghana Rubber Estate Company in the Western region. These are institutions that were set up by several Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's administration so we can get raw material and produce our own rubber, produce our own car tires in this country. But it interests you to know that as we speak today, the rubber that we need, the rubber fiber that we have in this country, they are producing at 29% capacity. It means that we have more room for improvement. Unfortunately, people are still exporting rubber in its raw state out of this country.
You are digressing from the topic.
I am not. I'll get there.
Okay.
It's just an introduction comment, which we always do. Why are you being impatient this morning? What did you eat?
I had banku and fatidechi yesterday.
I'm not surprised.
Thank you, Philippine Godot, for the food.
I am not surprised. So the rubber industry, I think it's a major issue. If you're able to invest more, expand the farms, I'm told I've got about 100 acres of expansion of the farm. If you're able to do it, it will create more employment for the young people. We'll be able to manufacture even our own car tires in this country. And all this second-hand tire on our roads that are creating accidents and all that, we'll be able to curtail it. Let me, before we come to the substantive issue, we're also getting very close to December and the carnage on our roads. Every time I get an opportunity, I want to talk about it. Drivers should take caution. They should drive carefully. We don't want to lose any life to December festivities. Now, coming back to the substantive issues, it's true.
Very well.
That somewhere in April of this year, when we took over office, the Secretary to the President, Dr. Kalisu Mahama, issued a statement, I believe from Cabinet and from the Presidency, that we are not going to extend the number of years of people who have gone on retirement when their time is due. And just yesterday, a statement has come up that the Police Council has approved or has recommended that the current IGP's term of office be extended by another 2 years, even though per his age, this year, December, it would have been going on retirement. But the Police Council has made that recommendation to His Excellency the President, and the President too has yielded the call that was made on him. I have heard people raising concern that what happened then to the directive that was issued in April. You can argue about it whichever way you want to argue about it, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Security institutions is a specialized institution, and so sometimes, based on expertise, based on experience, and gauging the mood of the country and what is happening in the country, you may want to allow the people to stay put if you are convinced that their operation, their activities are those that will inure to the benefit of the larger society. I am not too sure what the Police Council knows about the way and the manner the IGP is managing, the police service and, for that matter, the security of the country as of now, for which they made this recommendation. The sad news is that majority of us can run our commentary, we can agree and disagree on this subject matter, but we are not privy to the information that is available to the Police Council. We are not privy to the information that is available to His Excellency the President, because these are security matters. And
so the President has approved this?
Yeah, if the directive or the statement that was issued yesterday is anything to go by, it means that the President has approved on the recommendation that was made by the Police Council to him. Rowan, I think that I really wish we have time, we can go more deeper and open up this particular conversation.
Please open it up,
I recall before the 2024 elections, there were a number of people who were moving around and trying to lobby even political parties. They submitted proposal to parties asking that we look at the age at which people go on retirement in this country. Some of the people proposed that we can even increase the age to 65 years. Now, if you pick Ghana's population demography and look at it closely, you'd come to agree that we are a very more youthful society. And a lot of young people have completed the universities and all manner of tertiary institutions who are looking for employment opportunities. And so if you want to keep their fathers and mothers at posts, when are these people who are more energetic, who may have, different ways of want to go about things, when are they going to get opportunity to serve? And so it's a major issue that we have to look at, a major question we have to look at. For me, if you have served at an institution for some number of years, you know very well that you're not going to remain there forever and ever. You should be able to prepare, transfer knowledge, transfer skills, transfer abilities, whatever it is, to another group of people who will be able to take it over from you when you are not in office. Because definitely you cannot be there forever and ever. Now, if you check the military, if you join the military as a junior officer, say 18 years and 25 years, the number of years you are supposed to stay and work in the institution is 25 years. So assuming you join at the age of 20, you are retiring at the age of 45. It comes back to the subject of...
No, I think the Kufuor administration took it to 30.
They took it to 30 years. Okay, so assuming that you join at the age of 20 years, you are retiring at 50 years, right? You are able to serve for the entire 30 years. Now, at 50 years, you are still very active.
Yes.
You are still very young. You know, maybe your children are barely in a primary school. You've not taken care of them. Now, what do we have in place for people who go on retirement in this country? You see people, when they finish their work, they go on retirement. It is now they are trying to even put up a house. You know, our SNIT contributions that we do. Go and find out from the average teacher who go on pension, how much are they giving as a seed capital, and how much are they giving on monthly basis? Is that sustainable? Is that able to keep soul and body together?
So are you arguing for or against the decision to extend?
It's a complex issue. And then we need to approach it quite soberly, look at all the issues. We need to be able to put certain mechanisms in place if the current status quo is to remain. You know, people gradually are scared to go on pension. It's as if to go on pension means go home and go and die. Because once you go to pension, as I said, people who live in government facilities, government accommodation and all that, suddenly you go on pension, now you either have to go and rent an accommodation. People who either will not pay water bill, not pay electricity bill, now you are going to pay all these facilities. And have you really prepared for it? How much is your salary? Were you able to plan for your pension adequately?
Are you saying that Yehonu has... he falls in that category?
No. You know, as for...
Or you are making a general...
That's why I said that we can open that for discussion. Okay. People like Yehonu and the rest and people at that high level of security services, they often will retire on their salaries and what have you.
So they die.
And so until they die, they will be on their salaries. So whether he retires today or not, he will still enjoy all the benefits that he's enjoying today as a distant. So I don't think that keeping him there is because of those benefits or rewards. As I said, it could be based on expertise, could be based on experience. But again, these things, we need to look at them very well. Sometimes it brings down morale within institutions, right? Because the aspirations and the desire of everybody who works in an organization is to be able to rise to the very top. And that is why people put in their very best, work so hard, so they are recognized and then rewarded. So it becomes the case that maybe there are times somebody is 58 years now, thinking that Mr. Yehonu will retire next year, December, so he can also get the opportunity at least for 2 years before he goes on pension. Now, Mr. Yehonu's term has been extended by 2 years.
And so he doesn't want to go.
So by the time he's 62 years that he's going, that person that was in the line, who was expecting that the opportunity would have come to him too, would have been 60 years. So 2, 3, 4 of them will exit at the same time. And so even as a nation, we may not have the experience of seeing what those other people could have done, given the opportunity. So it is not a straightforward issue. It's not an issue we can say it is good or it is bad. We need to soberly look at it. The only difficulty we have now, because it's a security issue and we are not close with all the facts and why this decision was arrived at, it becomes very, very difficult to talk about it the way one would have wished to do. And so at this point, whoever want to criticize the decision, especially based on the earlier directive that was issued by this government previously, has a right to do so, whatever reason that the police council also gave for which they made this recommendation, and the presidency also accept the recommendation, that too because we are not really privy to it. But if you read the statement that was put out by Dr. Callistus, I think they largely touch on the fact that the current state of
put the statement on the screen so that we'll take a look at it, Ms. Abe.
Yeah, the current state of the institution, all of us, political parties, journalists, Ghanaian society, think that the security architect, that's why the police service, needs some resetting, needs some, we need to tweak it a bit to get it to be what exactly all of us.
So you're saying that it's because the government thinks that the police service needs resetting. There are no young people who could also, based on the establishment of the police council, going by the provision in the Constitution, Article 200, as well as subsequently the advisory from the police council, pick the best of the crop to succeed Yohunu. Is that what the government thinks?
What I've tried to do this morning is to look at it from all sides. I've looked at the pros and cons of what extending somebody's, retirement age. That yes, maybe of his expertise, of his experience. Now you can ask the question legitimately. So, is it the case that he is the only person within the setup that have those skills and those experiences, and that when he exits, no other person can do same? No other person. That is a legitimate question you want to ask. That's a legitimate question you want to ask. Now, as I said, the issue of morale, the issue of confidence in the system, sometimes it comes into questioning, and if you don't take time, you are not likely to get the support and the cooperation of other officers along the line. But again, I'm saying all of us are somehow limited based on the information, the facts available to us. The reason why this particular decision was arrived at, more so when a directive has been issued earlier, we are not privy to that. And so we are not able to make definite statements. We can only wish him the very best of luck. We can only pray that he's able to get the police institution. See, Roland, I can say this without any fear of contradiction, that those who think that, like in other jurisdictions where people at this level are even elected by a system, and they are given a tenure of office, so that when they take up the position, they have the confidence to implement policies that will benefit the generality of the society. I think that those arguments, I think that we should bring back to the fore and interrogate and have proper conversation on. Because the current police institution and architecture that we have, all of us political actors, when you are in government, you tend to believe, to accept, to appreciate. As soon as you move into opposition, the same system now come across as is antagonistic towards you. You don't know hostile towards you, because we are able to manipulate, we are able to control, and officers tend to pander to, the political power that gave them the opportunity to serve. And so, if we can, soberly and frankly have a conversation, have we arrived at that point as a nation where these persons, we can get an electoral college that will elect them, we can give them a term of office. So he knows that if I come as an
I don't understand. Is your supposition that at the time that the directive was being issued by Dr. Kalisus Mahama, all these things and ideas, and then the position you're espousing?
I think now on this subject, at where I am now, I'm expressing personal views and opinion on the subject matter. I have stated that these are the two statements that we put out, what the government positions are. I cannot challenge it. I cannot disagree with it, because I'm not close with all the facts. And why the government decided on this decision, or why the police council made this recommendation, I cannot question that at this point. The only thing I can do is to support it. However, I've gone beyond just that to look at the other side of it, that what happens within the police institution when some of these directives or these decisions are taken. Does it help the institution itself? And I've also looked at what the conversation has been around for a very long time as to how we can go about this issue, so that when officers are in office, they have the peace of mind. They know they are going to stay there until the agreed retirement age. And when that time comes, they bow out quietly. Whichever way, it's a conversation. For me, let people have their views and have their own bite. I know Zato is rehearsing.
Please leave Zato alone. When you were making the point,
that is permissible. At this point, let him look at it.
When you were making your point,
I have not said anything wrong.
When you were making your point, Dr. Zato never
Oh, it was smiling a lot. Anytime I turn out,
so he shouldn't smile.
How do you say
Dr.
that?
Zato, smiles of double standards, a position A today and then another position.
My dear Honorable, you go explain Tayaro. I feel your pain. Say that.
I don't have any pain.
You feel his pain, eh?
Which pain? I don't have any pain.
I feel his pain.
I don't have any pain.
Look, as a matter of principle, I think every president should be given the opportunity, especially when it comes to national security and security issues, to assemble his team. I think that president should be given enough free hand when it comes to national security. And that so long as they are not breaching constitutional laws, that they should, because they see things we don't see. They hear things we don't hear. They read reports we don't report. And keeping the realm safe and secured is the number one responsibility of the president. That's why they are the commander-in-chief. So I believe that the president should not be faced with any challenges when it comes to assembling his national security team. The Inspector General of Police is the core, one of the biggest pillars of their national security. And so a president should have that right. IGP Yohonu is a consummate policeman, law enforcement agent. He's come inside the system, he's handled the transition well, and he's doing his ultimate best for the police. I have absolutely no problem with him professionally or in person. There have been some few fractions with the police here and there. We have cause to complain about them, talk about them, and I think that in general, we need a lot of reforms and things like that. So I have no doubt. The problem is that, like everybody is saying, it is when you see this rampant and flagrant flip-flopping and hypocrisy.
Flip-flopping?
Flip-flopping, completely.
Why do you say that?
That is the problem. You just said it. Nobody forced Kalisus Mama to issue that letter. You know, if you remember, we discussed it here when that thing came.
Yes, we did.
That day, I was vociferously defending UTAC because university lecturers are in a peculiar situation. Look, sometimes by the time you get promoted to associate professor or prof, you're almost about retiring. And universities have a tendency of keeping full professor and associate professors on board to supervise PhDs.
I remember very well.
To supervise PhDs, MPhils, and mature, while the younger ones are burdened with undergraduate teaching and market. It's a system. So I asked that question. Later on, something happened. The education minister made UTAC and issued a statement that universities were not what? Part of that directive. So my question is that, now, are we saying security services are not part of? You should make that, because whenever the secretary of the president writes something and issues a statement, we should be able to take it to the bank. We should be able to know that that is a solid, that is the position. But today, then I ask my question, okay, what is the government's policy on post-retirement contracts? I don't know. If a student were to ask me today, okay, what is this current government's policy? I don't know what the policy is. But we should know, there should be policy clarity. It helps people to know, because now, people can now have the opportunity to read innuendos, to read motives into disappointments. Just precisely because of what you've done.
What you're saying is serious. Are you saying there's policy inconsistency?
There is. You have two statements. So what is this government's policy on this? And this is not the first time we have this policy inconsistency. And that's what I'm talking about, the government flip-flopping. Remember the issue of the interior minister saying that Galamseyers will be what? What's the
repatriated.
Repatriated. And then the government saying that when they say no, they'll be tried here. And now the president is saying that they need to establish community tribunals to fast track them. So I'm asking, how will you fast track them and prosecute them while you're also repatriating them? Or are you saying that only Ghanaian Galamseyers will face the rigors of the tribunals? So when I'm asking, why do you keep having this flip-flopping, these policy inconsistencies within one government? Why? Why can't they get their acts together and tell us that, look, this is an articulate, a coherent policy, so that we understand? You could also, because you see, if you look at Kalisus Mohammed's statement, he did not make any provisions. There were no loopholes to say that, look, or except under certain circumstances. And sometimes it's important.
As in there were no caveats.
No caveats. Just read it. Sometimes when your issues are, you need to put those caveats, because again, you are running the machinery of state. And sometimes things happen. You need it. So when you put it like that, that is where you can then come back to say, look, yes, this was the policy, but this and this has changed. I can understand that. But if you issue no caveat, if you put nothing there, and then you are now coming out to tell me that you have not issued it, and you see, conveniently, completely just ignore that other statement. They don't even make reference to it. So what are we supposed to make of this? This is, apart from it sounds even amateurist, because you don't expect very experienced policy makers, people who have been there, done that before, to be engaged in such activities. It doesn't help anybody. Now I'm asking myself, if I am also the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, and I'm also a tyrant, so should I also expect one? If I am, should I also expect
CDS?
No, I'm not like if you are the CDS. Should I also expect one Chief of Defense Staff, right? If I'm also in another security agency, should I expect one? Now, imagine I'm in the President Service, the head of President Services. Should I also expect one? If I don't give one, and then you're always giving one, is it because you don't like me? Why? But assuming you came out, it's not too late. By the end of today, the National Security Coordinator or the government could come out and look, this directive given does not apply to the security services. For the security services, His Excellency still retains that power to decide on case-by-case basis. Most of that is what you do. So that again, we now know that there's consistency, that when that time happens, the president will be allowed. But if you don't do that, and you keep doing it, then you put us into a guessing state. And once you do that, this is how the people, they can compromise their professionalism. They can now, if assuming yes, assuming I'm the head of the President Services, I'm not asking, and I'm near retirement. The question I ask myself, what do I have to do to get a post-retirement contract? So whatever I'm doing, that is in my mind, because I know that if I do something against the party, I will get a contract. If I do something against the government, I won't do it. So if I put my professionalism above other political interests, it may come to hurt me. That is what begins to what? Compromise their professionalism. But if there's a clear-cut policy that, look, this can happen, then I can also factor it, like you are saying, the moment you become a judge, we then assume that you have life tenure. So in this case now, you can, there are issues about promotions that we can come to. Or if you're a Supreme Court judge, you have life tenure, but then there's the issue whether you're going to be Chief Justice.
Because the current Chief Justice was there 17 years.
Exactly.
Ignored.
Thank you. So I'm saying that in those cases, there's still consistency. He's not losing the job as a Justice of the Supreme Court. But the point I'm saying is that the bigger point here becomes, let there be some cause, especially in the security services, because they don't sleep so that we sleep.
Okay.
If you make them begin to second guess and begin to now play pander to political whims and caprices, the safety of the realm might be compromised.
Okay. So the point has been made here about this is a security issue. There are provisions in the Constitution that says that the Police Council, then, based on that appointment, of course, on advice of the Council of State, would have to be working with the Inspector General of Police, advisory, looking at internal security, etc. So if they advise or recommend and say, look, this man has just been at the helm of affairs so short a time, there's this program of action, of course, it's just a supposition, etc. And so we think we need to keep him there for some time to do consolidation due to national security issues, etc. Could we have exceptions, irrespective of whether there are no caveat to an earlier statement or not, in this extension, in this narrative we're having? So look.
Bro, just give me 30 seconds.
I give you... Fred took 3, 4, 5 minutes to talk about...
Over the weekend, I was in Tamale and Salaga, and let me express my sincere appreciation to all those that extended a hand of help. You are many.
Tamale and Salaga.
Salaga. You are many.
What were you doing there?
I was on my, we are doing politics.
United Party?
Absolutely. And
did you meet some of the aspirants from MPP on the rounds?
They are joining our party in their thousands. It's amazing. And we will continue to encourage them. And let me also use this opportunity to honor one young man who is doing something great in this country. That is Robert Coleman. Wembley Sports Complex.
Wembley Sports Construction Company Limited.
That young man must be given all the necessary support in this country. If we help him, AstroTurfs, he is doing a yeoman job. So, Robert, I only
for Sisala, Sisala East.
Why not if it's going to help in the sport development of Sisala East? What is the big deal about this?
I'm saying introduce to him.
Me myself, I need one at Okakwe South for my people.
South.
Yes.
You know he's going for primary, so he needs it so that he can...
On the circuit of the UP?
No, MP.
United
Please
Party.
go ahead.
IBB's collapse, what is he doing in that party?
They have their primaries.
They have even boycotted this platform.
So what is he doing here?
Please go ahead.
The biggest platform in this country.
He's here on his own right.
No, he's an MPP member.
Yeah, sure. Who's going to join the UP? Please go ahead.
Roland.
Solo and Fred. I call you to order.
Thank you. Order.
So first of all, my candid opinion. I am not one of those that are for contract extensions. I am not for it.
Why?
Because then it, as it were, diminishes morale in various workplaces. But you see, I find nothing wrong, absolutely wrong, from my candid opinion, heart of heart, with what the president has done.
Why?
You see, when you are the president of the land, all you need to do, your Bible is the Constitution. Is that not the case?
This one?
This is the Constitution. The president is regulated by the Constitution. Now, if we go to Article 199, which has been amended, I mean, the Act 527, the Constitution Amendment Act of 1996, it gives the president that opportunity to extend people that are due for retirement their tenure by no more than 2 years. Because Article 99 says that people are supposed to retire by the age of 60 years.
199.
Yes. Then we amended, Ghana as a country amended our own constitution and gave the president the opportunity to extend public officers who are due for retirement by 2 years. That's the maximum. They cannot go beyond the 2 years. So if I am a citizen that is expecting the president to operate within the confines of the law, and I see that the president has done this, all that I need to do is to check with the law whether the president is right or wrong. So on the basis of the law, the president is right. And then the reason why they said that he can only do so based on the exigencies of the situation. You and I know that Yohonu was appointed somewhere on the 13th of March 2025. Let's be fair to ourselves. 13th of March 2025, he's due on retirement December. It means you would have expended 11 months. Yohonu took over 11 months.
No.
Less than that.
Less than that. That would be 9 months.
9 months. And you and I were in this country. He took over a turbulent police administration.
Oh, how so?
Here was a police administration where, what's the name? Dampare was sacked and people were jubilating openly.
Within the rank and file.
Within the rank and file at the various barracks. So he took over a mess situation.
Really?
That he needed to calm it down. I'm telling you, I don't know Yohonu anyway, and I don't intend, I only know him as the IGP. But you see, we must always be frank to the fact. Now, March to date, he's stabilizing the system. Now, you don't hear the bickering that much. So if you are the president, within only less than 11 months, you say another IGP must come. Now, it starts the issue of what you call it, lobbying, with its own confusion. So if you're a new administration, you would want the system to stabilize first before you bring in a new IGP. Now, let's put Callisto's first statement that seems to be the talk of town, and then let's dissect it and see whether those that are criticizing him and the statement will stand the test of time. You see, a casual look at it, I started criticizing him until I took a deep breath. Sometimes you must take a deep breath and go back to the statement and see whether or not it is we that are as we're running ahead of ourselves, or he was also spot on with that statement. Look, what is the heading of that statement?
Suspension of the grant of contract appointments.
Kindly give me the meaning of to suspend something. If you say suspending of something or suspension of something, what is this? To suspend something, what is it?
Suspension.
Or suspend.
A state of... Okay, suspension. Okay. So suspension. The meaning is...
Is a noun. Is that not the case? So it comes from suspend.
The action of suspending someone or something, or the condition of being suspended.
So go to suspend. Type suspend. And let's see whether this will not stand the test of what we are discussing. To suspend is what?
Temporarily prevent from continuing.
Absolutely.
Why this explanation in English?
Emphasis on temporarily. So he chose his word carefully. And I give it to him for getting it right. He's a land economist. He's my senior course mate. He got it right.
From KNUST?
KNUST. He was my TA.
And he lectured it.
I have known him to be a brilliant student, and I would have been very surprised he would have made that fundamental error.
Dr. Callistus Muhammad?
Absolutely.
Put the statement back on the screen.
So to suspend is to temporarily hold on to something. What was happening before this release? People were all over the place, including academia.
GRA,
they wanted extension
Why not? It's allowed by the Constitution.
And that was a new administration that had come into place April 5th. I mean, the president was sworn in on the 7th of January. By March, he was still even appointing his ministers. So if you come around and say that you need extension, it will be a problem. So what this release sought to do was to put temporary hold on these extensions. Did he give you the timeline for the temporary hold? Or did he need to come back to you and tell you that the temporality of it has been taken off?
Why not? If he issued a statement publicly,
So
the
point is that he issued the statement to deal with the specific situation. Are you with me? Now, the exigency, that's why I started from the angle of the Constitution. Is the president allowed to do what he has done? The answer is yes. He's right on, he's spot on under Act 527.
Hey, Solo.
Are you with me? So the point is that it is matter do about nothing. Then you go back into the Constitution. The president is supposed to be advised on how to manage the security by what? The police, by the police council. Is that not the case? I have also read on various portals, including your network, a report just recently on the 3rd of November 2025.
You mean 3news.com?
3news.com, written by Stanley Nibleu. Does he work here? He's one of your reporters, where he was quoting one Angel Lolo, who is, I think he's supposed to be a member of the police council, touring around the country. When I read it, and I said, let me find out, because I have a lot. Angel Lolo. He's supposed to be, I think he's a council member, if my memory serves me right. Now, I went back to have a huge friends in the police to find out whether indeed there were engagements within the police service as to whether there has to be an extension of the IGP's mandate or not. And guess what? That was when I realized from my friends that the police, Fred has been a police officer before, am I right? No, you have never been a police. No.
He's been an education.
Oh, sorry. That the police had, or they have 25 regions. You know, Ghana has a 16 region. But in the police, they have 25 regions. They went round and solicited the views of junior ranks and senior ranks.
Are you talking about they have 25 commands or?
No, I said regions? Police deals with regions. You know, in Greater Accra, we have Tema is a region, and then we have absolutely. So I stand for correction, but what I got from my friends in there was that they have 25 regions, and that they sought their views, and the majority view was that because of the way and manner there has been turbulence within the police service, it will only make sense to extend Yohunu's tenure so that he brings balance into the system. That's why some of these says, you see, it is very, very, it's a thin and a fine line that you need to find out, because we are dealing with a security institution. Once again, we are dealing with people who also had expectations, because if Yohunu had left, somebody would have taken over. That person would have also been an IGP, and it would have been good for him.
What about the question that has been posited here about a state of policy inconsistency?
What is inconsistent about this?
Well, release has been given.
The release, I just told you that to suspend is to temporarily hold on. So there was no policy inconsistency. There is no policy inconsistency anyway. You understand? The man chose his word. If the man had said that we have cancelled it, that would have even been unconstitutional. Because I've just told you that we have amended our Article 199 to say that the president has the power to extend. When it happened to Appear to, in this country, IGP Appear was given 2 years extension. Fell in line with the same provision. This is not the first time. You see, the reason why people are making, I will give you the opportunity to come. I don't have any problem, because what I'm telling you is my frank, unbiased position. That if somebody must come and point to me with constitutional provision that the president has flouted, that I always keep referring you to that.
Nobody around the table here is saying, Fred hasn't said, Zato hasn't said, even those arguing against this new extension, are arguing that the president has flouted any constitutional provision.
So then what are we discussing?
Okay, so the discussion is that despite the existence of a constitutional provision and the power that the constitution enjoins on the president, there has been a directive from that same president.
A temporal directive.
I think that's the law has
That's your interpretation.
No, that is what the meaning of it is.
Please put a statement on the line because this
You see,
thing.
you see, if you don't take the Solo, there is something. I have nothing to lose with it. When the IGP is not there, what am I going to lose? So if the IGP is out from the place, what is my interest in there? So if he's there, what is my interest in there? I don't have any interest. I don't intend to be in police. I don't have anything to do with them. In fact, the police is supposed to protect us. So whoever is the IGP, his first mandate is to protect me. But we are analyzing a situation. And I am combining. I've seen where people, sometimes it's not that everyone is shouting hallelujah, hallelujah makes them Christians. You must take your time and go back and also give the benefit of doubt. So knowing the caliber of the executive secretary and his intellect, I said, let me take a second look at the statement. So I saw suspension. Then I saw suspension mandate for suspend. Then I looked at the meaning of to suspend. And I saw to put a temporary hold on something. And
temporarily prevent from continuing
absolutely.
Or being in force or effect.
Yeah, it's temporary.
So if something is temporary, how would you then come back and say that was the policy position?
Maybe the only argument, or a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe if you are say, for instance, that a statement that was issued,
yes,
was carried in a
no, Fred, are we making this argument as if the statement was not issued at all? Because the statement
nobody has said no, but the press alone.
The statement was issued to deal with a specific situation. Yes. You have come into government, everyone was looking for extension of mandate. And you have not even finished with the full complement of the ministers to deal with matters. Why then would you then go ahead and say that you are approving it? You put a temporary hold on it, and then later you allow the system to flow.
Okay, I have this one from an ACP. Yes. An ACP says Solo is right. The police service was in a state of turbulence at the time Yohunu took off. This is an ACP. I can't mention his name.
No, but it's a well-known fact. Unless you want to play the ostrich here, you understand?
Really?
But look here. Even if you were going to do politics with Yohunu was appointed as a deputy IGP in this country by Akufo-Addo. Is that not the case?
Well, that's true.
So in terms of politicking, then the NDC is taking, they are taking that big bite by making someone who was appointed by Akufo-Addo as a deputy IGP and the IGP. But you cannot look at it that way. You understand?
You are conflating two completely different.
Which ones are that?
And that's the point.
You see, the problem I have with you is that when you were speaking, I was sitting down here. You have not been given the opportunity. What problem do you have with this IGP?
Not.
What problem do you have with the statement?
Good. Now let me tell you this.
Now have you given the opportunity?
No, you haven't ended.
So if it was
for me, you have 30 seconds.
But you see, we need to clear it. If it was him, you would have played the victim.
I'll be quiet.
That you never allowed him by intention. But the truth of the matter is that the two statements, there are nothing wrong with it. The police council, nobody has come that the police council never recommended the extension of the IGP's mandate to the president. Once the president received that recommendation and acted upon it, and once I look at the statement that was put out by Callistos, and I do not find anything wrong with it, on what basis would I go to town with? Because everyone is saying it, I also told that lie. No way. Obviously, what I'm saying would have.
So you are going against the grain.
Oh, absolutely. There is nothing has taken place. It's much ado about nothing. Just that people will suffer because of the extension. People will be 60 years and above, and they will not have the opportunity to be IGP. I sympathize with some people because they had expectations. But there is nothing illegal about it. If the president had done anything illegal, I'll be the first person to call him out.
All right. You wanted to say something because let me override you.
Okay. We are conflating two completely different things. I have not said, and nobody here has said that.
Indeed.
IGP Yohunu. I've actually said that. Look, the president should not be what handcuffed behind him.
Not said you said that.
Yeah, good. Thank you. You've done.
No, so why are you saying that? So if you are saying that I'm conflicted to you, no. But you see, you must be clear. He said that I am conflicted.
You just traveled, went to Salaga and Tamale and came back relaxed.
But people in Tamale, they greet you, bro.
That's his relax. The point I'm making is that we wouldn't have been here, one, had there not been that statement. That statement, because the question now you ask yourself is that such statements, such acts lead to what? People who are losing faith in governance. It leads to people not trusting public servants when they come out. When you issue a statement, even if it is temporal, has the temporal statement been lifted? If it's temporal, has it been lifted? Has it been lifted? You could not tell us. That's what I'm saying. In this appointment, there could have just been a line that says that.
A caveat. That's when they find.
When they find. Or you could have just said that, or issue another statement that suspension has been listed. And I've asked the question. Is it now? Has that statement now been? Has it outlived its usefulness? We understand that, yes.
So for you, the statement issue or the one circulated currently, so-called signed by Carlos Umar, could have had maybe a caveat that pursuant to an earlier statement.
That's one way.
Okay.
Another way could have been to now say that, okay, we have now settled. We were a government transition. We've now settled. We've now taken full control. So we have suspended that temporary session is now removed. Now the president will now address these issues on a case-to-case basis. You bring clarity to the situation. My point is that if you haven't done that, now we have two policies there. Okay. Which is which?
I don't get it.
I don't get what you're saying.
I don't get what you're saying.
He says that the temporal suspension is
temporal.
Well, it's still in effect.
What are you talking about?
Is it still in effect?
But temporal means that it's temporal.
It's temporal.
It's not
so with this, it lifts it.
So now you are telling us that suspension has been lifted.
No, but that is the only reasonable deduction you can make out of it.
No, you cannot.
Why?
You cannot, because that policy still stays. Okay. It still stays.
So what you are saying that what you are saying that the statement issue confirming the extension of the years of Yehonu does not override.
No, it doesn't. They have not said that.
But he says it overrides.
Based on what?
But this is the current statement.
No. So my point is that it's important for us to know this, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost anything to bring clarity to this. It doesn't hurt for the secretary.
So that is another matter you are discussing. That you now want clarity.
It's the main matter. If you, the question is the main matter. It's the only matter. Have you rescinded that thing? Have you annulled it? Yes. Now we are going to deal with, or you could say that, because it happened. I'm saying this happened. When it came to education and youth, the Minister of Education says this does not apply. It was clarified.
Is there?
Yes, the Minister of Education clarified that it does not apply to academia. Policy clarification, simple. You could say a similar thing. This one does not apply to.
So you are saying that there's a void because there hasn't been public statement.
But we are not being fair to the situation. No, Zato, let's get it clear. Around April, there was so much confusion everywhere. You couldn't have singled out other areas.
But you could do it.
All right. Let's go out of the studio. We have Fred, I'll come back to you. Emmanuel Kutin is a security person. He's always helping us with some of these discussions. Emmanuel Kutin, you take a look at the current statement of the extension of IGP Yehonu. I'm sure you have your own intel. You pick intel. Indeed, we have to acknowledge that at the time of his appointment, there was a lot of disharmony, so-called, among the rank and file or within the personnel of the Ghana Police Service, so to speak. But would you say that justifies this extension of IGP Yehonu's term, even though he's supposed to retire this December?
Well, Roland, thank you for having me, and very good morning to my good brothers in the studios, Honorable Fred Agbenyo, Honorable Dr. Zato, and my good friend Solo. In fact, we as an organization have come out with a press statement, and we don't need to get this thing twisted. It's not about Yehonu as a person. It's about two things: government policy and the Office of the Inspector General of Police. You see, when you bring a policy,
which one is the policy?
And we've all been students of public policy before. Communication matters. And I think this government have to respect the people of this country, and they don't need to do things haphazardly the way things have been done. Nobody forced this government to bring a policy that they were no longer going to give any form of extensions to our public service heads. And clarification was sought, and they gave exception to the university lecturers. Now, if you are suspending that policy, you need to come back to the good people of this country. First, the policy was to promote institutional continuity. And it was also to give some kind of prediction to succession. And thirdly, the argument was that it was to be merit-based progression within the public service. So if at any point in time, and as a security watcher, I know there are so many things the president and people at the top there can see and we at the bottom cannot see. There is a need for this extension. You have to communicate clearly to the good people of this country. The president simply behaved like a Pontius Pilate, that the police council had made a recommendation and he has nothing to do about it than to sign it off. And I don't think that is proper in our security management systems. Also, we have to look at what the decision represents. If you look at the communication from the president, it represents a very significant departure from its stated policy, one. It also undermines government credibility with its reforms commitments. And it also sends mixed signals about its approach to institutional governance. And don't forget, when this government came, they did away with so many generals at the helms of the military. Some of us were calling for institutional memory. The government said they wanted to give opportunity to the up and coming ones. Majority of Ghanaians applauded that and gave the president the benefit of the doubt. You know what happened to the former IGP, circumstances surrounding his removal, and how this IGP was appointed. So we cannot choose and pick. It doesn't help in our security governance architecture. And there are so many questions. That's why I find it so problematic with my good brother Solomon when he became the lawyer this morning, quoting the Constitution. And, these are not constitutional matters. They are security issues, and it transcends beyond political propaganda. That's why in my initial statement, I mentioned that we shouldn't get this thing twisted. It shouldn't be about the person of COPO, but it should be about the office of the IGP and the policy per se. Now, we ask questions. What single initiative, that's the question as an organization we are asking, has the IGP introduced or implemented that warrants this extension? It has to be clear here. Sometimes this kind of extraneous conditions will make the president to say that I'm going to give this extension based on this and that and that. Beyond the rhetoric, they have not put anything concrete on the table that the IGP have done A, B, C, or D. And we as an organization, when it comes to transformative policy, we have seen none. When it comes to operational innovations, we've seen none. When it comes to institutional reforms, we've seen none. And I want to challenge my brother Solomon. He said there was some form of research or done among the rank and file of the police, and they said, given what happened in the tenure of the past IGP, this one should be made to continue because it was the period he came was so short a time. I will challenge him for those things to be made public. At least we are in a democracy. You don't just come and pass on certain information and get away with it. I want the station to put my good brother, I know he will not be comfortable with me this morning, to the strictest of proof to provide those evidence. Have you forgotten let the retiree go? Your very good friend Johnny's Bite, when this policy came, we were hailing the government. Let the retirees what? Go. And we were of the opinion that the youth make over 60% of the population of this country. Is it not the case? Go and look at international laws and UN conventions. They are even urging governments to make sure that their development agenda are hinged on youth development. So if people are attain their statutory retirement age and you are giving them contracts, what happens to the upcoming ones? And I think that working in the police service over 30 years, being in uniform is not an easy thing. Knowing you will know, if I were you, I'll tell the government, no, thank you. I will go home and rest and give opportunities to the upcoming ones. And you see that the decision, it bears the unfortunate appearance of political patronage rather than a merit-based institutional management decision, like I indicated in my previous submission. Does this very, very decision serve public interest or a narrower political consideration? So as a country, and this is what we as an organization we do, we have tried as much as possible to be very consistent because integrity matters to us more.
Mr. Coaten,
whipping Dampari, we should use the same cane to whip Yewonu. Because look at the accusation that came on the back of Dampari. Have we seen any transformation or anything around those things? At best, I can confirm that the sins Dampari was accused of is still persistent under Yewonu. Is it that Yewonu is more Ghanaian than Dampari? We cannot do that as a country.
All right.
And we also feel that as an organization, the issue of morale will be greatly affected.
Mr. Coaten.
Yes.
I take it that you're Mr. Dampari's friend, Dr. Dampari is your friend, or you're just in the space and so you're making the argument like the way you are.
If you check it, Dampari has never liked me.
Okay.
I was the #1 critic of Dampari. Go and check the record.
All right. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm
just being truthful to the matter by way of policy.
Okay. I get your point.
For any individual consideration.
All right.
Go and ask. Yewonu is my good friend. I visit him in his house and things. And if I were to meet Yewonu, I'll tell him that, senior, you know why? You are tired. Visibly, it appears on you are tired. You have done your bit. Go home and rest. I would have told him the same thing.
All right.
I think that this government is fast losing the kind of
goodwill
Ghanaian has in it when it came, and it has to watch carefully because look at it in this window. The Chief Justice have just been nominated and appointed. He has less than a year or two.
All right. Okay.
Are you going to extend his own when it comes?
All right.
Are you going to do the same to the CDS and the other security?
Mr. Coaten.
Yes.
Do you not think in making such decisions, the overriding provisions in the Constitution, which gives power to the president to make considerations as to who he appoints to key security institutions, overrides whatever argument about all the things you say, irrespective?
Well, Solomon said the Constitution is the President's Bible. That is absolutely right.
Okay, so
I'm coming.
So if that is the case, then the president is not wrong, Casey.
No, we are talking about policy. You didn't make me to learn. Look, as far as the Constitution is the Bible of the president, no one forced the president to come out with these policy guidelines. And don't forget, policy drives government into action. It's not as if because the Constitution mandates you to do A, B, and C, you have to do that. Then otherwise, the accusation we placed on MPP that they were giving contract extensions to their cronies, then they cannot equally be wrong. And we can be fair to the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo, given the criticisms we gave them. You see, in this country, it is so easy to choose and pick. But we as an organization, our eyes are fixed on the ball and will not be drafted into this arena of choosing and picking. Integrity really matters to us, and we have to call a spade a spade. And I'm urging Yewonu that if the police council is making this recommendation and the president has signed it off for his own integrity, one, and for the health of the security architecture and the police as an institution, he should say, no, thank you, Mr. President, I want to go home and rest. You
mean he should rescind the extension? You should not accept it.
If you look at the letter, they say he has 3 days to say
Respond.
yes or no.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm urging him that given this kind of debate, which is so unpalatable, look, let me give you this thing. When Yewunu came, a lot of the police officers jubilated. We were all expecting that we will go back to
Mr. Kote, your time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Fred, thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Kote.
I vehemently disagree with.
Well, he says by way of policy, it's a variance.
I completely disagree with him. And again, when he says that Mr. Dampare, Dr. Dampare is not his friend, he himself admitted on UTV, I watch him, when he said Madam Tiwa and Dampare are very good friends. So if he come on TV3,
he said Yewunu is his friend. That's what he said.
But so he didn't say that the man didn't like me, so they were friends. You see, we are in a democracy. Everybody has a right of an opinion on every subject. Nobody can take that right from anybody. But don't assume that because that is your right, everybody else is wrong. You know, I don't think that is fair in a democracy. You are saying what you are saying based on the facts available to you. Whoever took the decision also took that decision based on the facts available to him. I don't think that all of us who are running this commentary like Mother Ghana than the president who took the decision or the police council that took the decision. I don't think any of us like the police service than those who are in the police council themselves. The senior police people are represented on the police council. And I don't think that we know better than them. Yes, it's within our right as Ghanaians to run commentary and to express our views and opinion on this subject matter. The most important thing, and nobody has said that so far, that this constitution, the Republic of Ghana, and the 1990 constitution, has been violated in any way. And I think Solo raised a point that is very, very important when he says, per the first statement that was issued, the extension was suspended. The extension was not abolished. Because to abolish that would mean that you'd have infringed on the 1992 constitution. It was only suspended. I agree with you, and I agree with Dr. Zato when he says that in issuing this second directive or statement, at least a caveat or reference should have been made to the earlier statement. In crafting these speeches again, from where they sit at the presidency, what they know, what they are privy to, that you and I don't know. I am very, very, very certain that they thought through all these things. These statements are not just crafted by one person in his bedroom and put in the public domain. They must have checked every word, the wording, every single expression, and they are convinced that under the circumstances, it is the right thing to do, and they have done it. We can disagree with them. That is fine. But once we cannot prove at this point that the constitution has been violated or they have done something that has never been done in this country before, I don't think that we can drag this issue too much.
Not always right.
Yeah, so we can't drag this issue very much. Okay. All we can say at this point is that we wish Mr. Yewunu the very best. We will still plead with the police hierarchy, everybody. Give him the support and the cooperation, everything that he needs to be able to deliver to all of us the kind of security that all of us will be happy with. That is all I can say at this point. So, I don't know. We can leave it. Maybe come to the next topic. And then
okay. Solo has made his position clear. Now let's get into the last subject. We'll spend some few minutes on it. It's on the High Court issue.
I thought I'm going to talk about
which one?
The Wesley girls.
No, with the Wesley girls. Okay. You want to share? You want to share?
You see, Lauren. Sometimes we need to be very careful.
Spend 2 minutes.
If there's one thing that we have succeeded in doing this country beautifully, is the fact that when it comes to religious tolerance, we have done that beautifully. We have coexisted. We have been a happy people. I am a politician. I campaign at all places. When I am going to a Muslim community to go and campaign, when I have to visit the mosque, I put my religion, my Christian biases and belief systems aside.
You even wear
so I can meet. I will dress to reflect that. I have seen a number of times, even the vice president, when he has to visit any Muslim community, his hair is well covered. I have seen my women organizer, Dr. Eloisa Bisu. I have seen all the women in our NDC. You will see them reflecting that. In this country, we have Christian schools, we have non-Christian schools, we have Muslim schools, and what have you. If I, Fred Agbenyo, today decide that I'm going to attend Islamic University or that I'm taking my son to Islamic University, I must be willing, ready and prepared to follow the ethos and the belief system of that institution, to the extent that nobody compelled me to choose that school to go. You understand? We all know the role that the various faiths have played over the year in maintaining discipline, especially at the secondary school level. The Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Islamic faith, all of them have played, and it is the culture of that religion that has found expression in the institution, that the discipline that we are talking about has always come to the fore, that we have seen. And so I am not too happy with this whole issue that is going on. Why?
Well, Wesley Girls, they insist that...
You see, this thing about right. In this country, we are as if we are copying blindly, even child rights. Go and check the way we are pushing those whole issues, forgetting that we are a people, we have a culture, we have a religion, we have a way of life. Today, when you go to the West and see the way they are going about their things, they are bringing up their children. Several people who live in America and every part of the world now, they are bringing their children back to Ghana. They think that they are trying to come and imbibe our culture. They must come and understand our way of doing things because they think that is happening in America. But we sit here and some few people go and study a few things out there and they come and impose on all of us. Right. You can't discipline. You can't control. You can't... What are we doing to ourselves? I beg, this thing should not become a subject for discussion. Before your child leaves home, my children are attending a Catholic school. I am not a Catholic. Once they are there, it's incumbent on them that they respect the decision of the church. It's as simple as ABCD.
That position you've just espoused is at variance to what the Minister of Education has said.
What did he say? He said that the Constitution...
Yes, I know, the Constitution. But what you've just said...
Rights.
Yes, exactly. What you've just said is completely different at variance of what the Minister of Education just said yesterday. Because he was saying that it doesn't matter if you are a Muslim and you go to a Catholic school, you should still be allowed to practice your faith. You are saying that if you are not a Catholic, but if your child goes to a Catholic school, he didn't have that. So I'm saying they are at variance.
But what did he say wrong? What did the Minister
say? I'm not saying they are saying wrong. I'm simply saying that the position he just articulated now is at variance with what...
I'm echoing the minister's position.
It's at variance.
Stating a position.
I'm stating a position.
That's why he's bringing that in the first place.
That what you're saying is different from what the minister said. But here's my position.
He didn't say you were.
I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying that what you've said is different from what the minister said. And these inconsistencies that are the problem. This is what I'm saying. These inconsistencies are the problem.
What is the consistency?
I attended a Catholic junior seminary.
Which one?
And St. Francis Xavier. So I should have been a priest. But something happened. Yeah, I should have been a priest. But something
you should have been a priest.
Yes.
Preaching in the church.
I should have gone to the major seminary. So the junior minus the senior seminary. I didn't go. Something
Dr. Zato.
But yeah, it's true.
Reverend Father Zato.
What did I tell you in a nice name? That would be nice. So beautiful girl confused me. Let's go at the point. There are certain things. That is where I was talking about why policy is important. You see, public policies tend to be utilitarian. They try to satisfy the biggest benefit for the biggest people. Laws tend to be very specific. Laws just pick winners and losers. They just said you have lost and you've gone. These issues have been there have been some kind of balance that have existed in secondary schools all this while. The balance has been in such a way that schools have found ways to accommodate these things without losing their identities. The moment you take these things to court, and the moment the justice system or the courts are called to rule, they are going to make emphatic rules. Courts, they are not going to find middle grounds. And that is the way we are heading towards. Because when you go to court, they all go to court. And everybody starts talking about the right you are talking about. At the end of the day, we are going to have a system that the age long, the harmony that has existed in secondary schools is going to be a sacrifice on the altar of what? Right, when it goes to court. And you've seen, look, the position you've articulated is also the same or similar to what the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana have espoused. So now, if everybody is moving to their corners, what we now see, everybody is moving to their corners, taking entrenched positions. When you do that, it's the children that suffer. When you do that, it's the children that do not benefit. I believe that there's enough room in the middle for people to move from entrenched positions to find common grounds for the sake of the children. For the sake of the children everybody should see. We should find a way. I don't think it's too late to remove this case from the courts, to come out, and then let us sit down. And Jojo, I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late for the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, the Christian Council, and the Muslim brothers and sisters to sit down on the altar. Exactly. So this issue, I'm saying that people should help advise to withdraw this case, and then we can go to that memorandum and find a common space. Because if you allow this thing to continue to the court, and we then allow the court to make a ruling, the ruling, I don't think, might inure to the benefit of the children. We should always put the interest of the children at heart.
So which position did you espouse?
My position is that, please, withdraw the law, withdraw the suit, and now let us go to the memorandum of understanding that was established and use it to work.
Between the missions and
between the missions,
yeah, because there was an agreement.
There was an agreement. Let's go back to the agreement.
Should be mission school.
I went to Prempeh College.
Prempeh is which mission?
Presby and Methodist.
Okay.
Before then, I had never sung any Methodist hymn or Presbyterian hymn before.
You didn't go to church?
I mean, I read on the street. I wanted to practice. Yeah, street. I wanted to practice my fetish priest. On Prempeh.
You wanted to be traditional,
so that we,
so to speak,
we put on our powder.
You know, my name is Jebunche, right?
It's absurdity. The Methodist, the Wesley Girls School must insist.
Really?
They must insist on what has brought the school to where it is, for which reason parents want to send their wards there. Prempeh College must insist on what has brought the school to the levels that people want to attend. TIMAS must insist. Look, there was this ruling about the Rasta man in Achimota. People were jubilating. We must allow rights. If you are a young man and you are going to school, are you going to learn discipline or you want to do what pleases you?
No, but Rasta doesn't mean you are in.
What Rasta? Go to Rasta school. The school says you must keep your head at a certain.
Now in the US doing.
Forget about that. I've seen him writing all. You see, we must not introduce impunity in our system.
But what is impunity?
What are you talking about? The school says ABCD. That's why we learn discipline. After school, if you want to do your own thing, go and do your own thing.
You mean conformity?
Conformity.
What is it?
Then they must also go there and say that we will not attend prep. It's against our religion.
We watch bosses.
What is this?
We wear bosses to lectures.
This right is what some professors asked us to be doing tumu in this country. Remember, tumu, LGBTQ. I saw professors going to court. We must allow men and men, women and women to be sleeping because of right. Small thing, we are in court because we think that we know English.
You think that's a bin of
But Wesley girls must insist. They can go to court and get their ruling. You go and meet the teachers there. What is this business? We are going to practice our religious faith. We must do, what is it? Your words are there to learn discipline. When they come back to their homes, you infuse your religion into them. Why is it that they are not even preaching about African religion? All this Western religion. They are not even talking about that. Look, the schools are what they are because there are certain principles. And not because you want to introduce to them new things to destroy the schools. Ever since you started all these business, some of the quality, the caliber of schools we had, the quality is even going down. We are not allowing the schools to implant in these walls the discipline that we used to know. The last time I went to my alma mater, I saw some boys keeping bushy hair. I said, this is not Prempeh College standard. You dare not put your hair go beyond a certain meter.
No, but Gen Zs have hair bushy.
They are on our various campuses using manner was doing TikTok because of some of these things. Everything I know my right. Hey, Mr. Education Minister, please, why you are going slippery? Allow the schools, the religious bodies to infuse the discipline. Wouldn't it be so nice that you are coming from an Islamic background? Then you go to a Christian school, you also introduce it opens your mind about the worldview of religion.
Yes.
So what is this business that go to TIMAS and go and see how Christians are praying every Friday? They know, look, Sylvester Boati, a typical Christian, he can recite all the Quran from head to toe. He went to TIMAS. Beautiful.
You go to a new environment,
beautiful.
You learn a new culture.
Black Rasta, he went to TIMAS.
Which Black Rasta?
Your own Black Rasta. Kumasi TIMAS. Is he not Pan-Africanist? He can recite the Quran from head to toe. He led it there.
If I choose
the beauty of it, that is the school. And before you went
Black
there,
Rasta?
Black Rasta, you knew that it's TIMAS. We are not doing Christian business there. And people have not had any issues with it. Hajia Halima, they went to Wesley Girls. Did you ever hear them complain about religious treatment on campus? They went through it beautifully.
They knew before they went.
They made friends. When you go to the school, the Muslims, the Christians, they are so happy. You parents, adults that you are out, instead of encouraging them to continue to be happy, you are here and then creating also problems. Are you in the
parents and the adults rather creating problems?
The parents we have today,
not rights enshrined by the same constitution.
They open phone lines. I went to a particular school. You know, weekend they want the walls to speak to their parents. The parents of today, we have a problem. The walls are crying, parents are crying. I mean, Jesus Christ. Your word is in secondary school. You miss it. You miss it. After secondary school, you are not going to get hold of your word. Because from secondary school, if it's going to continue, goes to university, independent life has started. Yeah. Why do you want to continue in this that be nonsense?
You mean cajoling them?
Cajoling.
Solomon, I have a friend, her name is Zanabu Muhammad.
Zanabu.
She totally agree with you.
But what are they talking about?
Zanabu is a Muslim.
Yes.
Right, but you think you are going to deliver with this?
I don't want to see. You say you totally agree with
the young ones in there, they are so happy.
What is that?
They embrace themselves. Me, my daughter, the best friend is a Muslim. When they are walking, you will not even see the difference. But you parents, you are out there and you are discussing right. Who cares about your rights?
Speak the truth and stop these things that we are doing in this country.
It's totally nonsense.
If you are come to TV3, you said you speak English or your money.
So Solomon said,
I don't care.
I don't care. We need policy, not law to this. Look, for the sake of the children, for the sake of the children, let's withdraw this lawsuit and let's go back to the memorandum of understanding
that we had with them.
Exactly. Sit down as adults around the table, put the interests of the children first, and get it done. That's my problem, my solution.
Honestly, this thing that we are doing is not fair, it's not proper.
Why not? This is
that every institution.
We're in the modern state. Which one is the Republican dispensation?
When you are selected,
the 1992 Constitution is applied. This is the Constitution. And Fred, what are you saying?
Listen, that's why we have.
And that's why the minister says that.
That is why you have several schools in this country. It's your choice. It's your decision. If you have decided to come to TV3, when you come to TV3, you do what they do at TV3.
What are they talking about?
I don't come from my house to come and determine your editorial policy for you. I don't come from my house to come and do whatever I like here. That's why you even have the power to even work me away from your set. If you think that I'm doing something that contravenes your rules.
Fred, walk away.
Yes, I walk away. I carry my
teeth. Yeah, I understand the point. But, you know, again, I will espouse this. I grew up in Ashaiman, and some of my friends today who helped me are big Muslim clerics. And then
about the difference between you and them.
Alajis.
What are you doing?
I've had friends who were Christian, then converted to Islam.
Kudus is like a brother.
Yes.
You can see the same people go for a wedding in the church, then the next day they are all going to.
No problem anyway.
It's how we live.
You continue this, the fetish priest will go and create your own there, and you will see.
So you are saying that we need to have fetish priest also advocate.
Of course, but the moment if they grant, I'll go to court and allow them for us to have our fetish priest. Let them make that mistake at the court.
It's okay.
And you all send our.
It's okay. Let me read some comments so we can end.
I wasn't born a Christian and Muslim. The name Jebuntie was given to me by divine by a soothsayer and given to me named by the gods of my
so you have to go.
Exactly, I do. So if I go to school, they should give us a shot.
I need to be careful when I'm getting close to the man now.
Jebuntie. There is no paracetamol.
Please put their mics up. You said Jebuntie means what?
Jebuntie.
There is no paracetamol.
The third male son named after the war gods of the family.
That's why you have to tell the
so you are the son of a god.
No, say
the man is very fearful.
Thank you. Fear me. I'm very powerful.
Me, I'm not scared of the power. The blood of Jesus Christ is above every other power.
They use a dog, a sheep, a guinea fowl, and 3 children to name you.
That's right.
Yes. In the olden days, they needed the head of a gonja.
Buhari Francis.
Roland,
please, let me read some comments. Gentlemen. Buhari Francis says Zato and Solo are on the same path for the first time. History made in the studios of TV3.
Amen.
Please shake hands. Shake hands.
He's joining the UP.
The truth is one. The truth is
The last week I didn't have it easy at the hands of Zato at all. So today we're on the same platform.
We've made up.
We've plateaued. Then Jay Harland Lee said, I know that's not your real name, that's social media name. Says it's the most silly argument I have heard on this issue. The Muslims are not saying you should change your standards or teachings at the schools. They are simply asking you to allow them to observe daily prayers. They are not asking for anything more than that. And then, okay, I see Benu Anthony as well. Stephen Beidu says, please remind everybody else criticizing the education minister that his wife and children are all Christians and he's a pure Muslim. He even introduced the wife during his vetting from the Ashanti region. So what's our problem? The rights are enshrined in the constitution.
You're right.
Kwejo Yabua says, no institution is a law unto itself. Now, my directors, I can read 5 more. Then, so thank you, Harriet, for allowing me. Now, I have this one from Felicia Abane Awa. Good morning to Felicia for watching us from the front plains. Always says that, I love the way you stop the quoting guy. What he's saying, he thinks he knows it all. Solo is my best for the morning. Even me, I'm a strong Africanist. And so what's the point? And then Georgian Lotte says, please, all the religious faith should allow what the Romans do to be practiced where they are. When you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. Simple. And then I have this one also from, Philippine Godot. And Philippine Godot sends an interesting message, and I was just laughing throughout. He says that, I'm happy with everything the government is doing and the decision it takes. I beg, he should talk for himself. If the IGP has an extension, he has an extension. I have 2 more to read. And then this one is coming from Obimpong Kaba. Okay, my producer says, okay, so last one. Kindly let the NDC rep understand that there are churches in Arab countries. Residents are not forced to go to the mosques, but have the choice of practicing their religion. And so Wesley girls should excuse us. Strong words there. And then Kakri Samwa says, former President Kufuor was on national TV announcing that there will be no haircuts. When he soon thereafter... Can I read this one? It's the last one. Allowed. Okay, I'll start because you people laugh.
What is for me? They are reading something.
Former President. Let me read the last comment. Former President Kufuor was on national TV announcing that there will be no haircuts. When he soon thereafter applied the haircut in the DDEP, did he precede it with a statement indicating his change of mind? The imposition of the DDEP was deemed to have been reversed when the decision was taken.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
How did we arrive where?
And then my director asks that I should end. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Richard Amankwashi goes about giving me the full meaning of suspension, suspend, examples, and then, hey, Meta AI is good. We're taking a break, but not before we tell you why you need to step into the night of elegance, music, and fine dining at the Mövenpick Classical Music Night, and it's happening on the 27th of November at the Mövenpick Ambassador Ballroom, right here in Accra. Now, they're telling you to come and enjoy an enchanting evening of live performances by Guy Bertrand and Kokri Salome, as well as allowing you to savor an exquisite 4-course meal or dinner with perfect wine pairings, and also get you to capture magical moments with their photo experience. And it's all more than just an evening. It's a symphony indeed of taste, sound, and style, all crafted for those who cherish the finer things in life. So they're telling you to hurry up now because the seats that need to be booked are Limited. So don't miss your chance to be part of this great evening where every note is going to hit the heart and every flavor is going to delight your tongue. And so go and book now. 1,800 Ghana cedis. Reserve your seat today by calling the number 020-433-3136 or 030-2611-000. Mövenpick Classical Music Night, where music meets elegance and moments turn into memories. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest in sports right here on TV3 Newday.
You're not sure what's causing the panic, but if you're
Masquerades are scary, but bills shouldn't scare you. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes, 1-year insurance cover, and more. Tap into vibes in the EcoBank 5-Star Enjoyment Promo. Up to 15% discount when you use our cards and digital platforms. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or text asking you to verify sensitive information like your PIN, Ghana card, or bank card information. Pay better attention to details.
What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it the sunrise, the sound of your alarm, or is it that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force inside you? You can start your day strong with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1, carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. You're on your own mission, and you won't stop until you succeed. Start strong, finish strong.
This advert is FDA approved.
Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytech is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytech, we get Sumo, Rambo, and get Sumo Super. And the Polytech, we did.
Polytech, Papa no Ankasa.
You're probably wondering how Ebo got here. Oh, Ebo. You see, Ebo is not a bad guy. He's got plans. Big plans. But there's just one small problem. His wallet didn't get the memo. So he decides to take a shortcut. That was a bad idea. And that's how he found himself sitting across area champion, the great Abu Kayoyo. Let's just say, not every quick fix fixes everything. But with a Stanbic loan, he gets the upgrade he needs and the freedom to actually breathe. With a Stanbic loan, the only thing chasing you are your dreams.
Welcome to the Gift Gallery's Home Collections, located on 5th Circular Road in Labani. Discover exquisite furniture, home decor, and accessories that turn every space into a reflection of who you are. From elegant dining sets and cozy living room pieces to artistic wall decor and statement mirrors, every item is crafted to make your home truly unforgettable. Step into the Gift Gallery GH and find beauty in every detail. Visit us at 5th Circular Road, Labani, and bring home the art of living beautifully. Your destination for timeless furniture, home decor, and inspired living.
The biggest gathering of our prestigious Ghana Energy Awards is happening live. Date Friday, 28th November. Venue Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Time is 6 p.m. prompt. Theme: repositioning the energy sector as a pillar of national development. Special guest of honor: Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Jinabo, the Minister of Energy and Green Transition. For tickets and sponsorship, call 0303-940-300. Industry partners: Volta River Authority, JK Huglet Transport and Company, We Power Authority, Petrosol Platinum Energy, Minergy Technology, Ghana Gas, Post Energies, Gridco, Comac, GNPC, Sunona Sogli Power, NPA, PURC, ECG, Energy Commission, COPEC, Media Partners, TV3, Graphic News Plus, Ghana Energy Awards, redefining excellence.
Through every step of life's unpredictable journey, every moment counts. That's why you need a partner you can always trust for solutions, so you can be rest assured. Having impacted over 200,000 lives, processed over 4.2 million claims, partnered with over 400 corporations, paid out over 836 million Ghana cedis in claims, contracted over 1,600 healthcare facilities nationwide, and pioneered several innovations like free medicine delivery, an interactive mobile app, and more. You'll be surprised what can be accomplished in 20 years. We're part of the Nationwide family. Are you? Nationwide Medical Insurance. 20 years of leading the way.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is a competition. Everything.
Join our family for AFCON Morocco 2025 from 21 December to 18 January. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Go be the luckiest, go be from Georgia be luckiest, from not the pure cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest, everybody go be that luckiest.